Post Malone edition.
Second time being here.
So we're not like the cameraman right now who's had Raising Cane's 45 times. This is only our second time having it.
Yeah.
We weren't too fond of it the first time.
No, I didn't. I wasn't wanting to come back, but then of course, you know, this is the Post Malone, Dallas Cowboys inspired Raising Cane's. We saw some other Cowboys fans in here as well. It was quite busy, and so had to come back. Wasn't expecting much, but have to say, 100% better.
100% better.
I would say probably the first experience was like a 5, just average.
Yeah.
No reason to come back. This one, 7. I'd come back.
Do you think we were biased because it was to do with the Cowboys and stuff?
Yeah, I definitely made it taste better. But I was a little upset because I did get my sticker with my meal, but I only got one piece of that Texas toast or whatever the hell it is, and you guys got 2.
I had 2.
Adam did give me half of his.
If you're flying into Dallas Love and you want to catch a Cowboys game, before you hit up your hotel, I highly recommend checking out the Post Malone Raising Cane's in Frisco, Texas.
Frisco, Tesla.
I'm not going to say I'm a Raising Cane aficionado, but when I'm in Dallas, Texas, I have to come to the Cowboys branded, Post Malone branded Raising Cane's. Did I like it a little bit better because it was posty? Probably. But I like the Texas toast, I like the chicken fingers, and I like the Raising Cane sauce, baby. Okay, what are you doing right now?
Watching the video?
What are you doing right now? Watching our video or watching your video?
I'm waiting for a 94-year-old lady. I'm supposed to have sex with her in these bushes.
Okay. Yeah, we're leaving. Okay, fair enough.
Okay, so we just got talked to by the Raising Cane's management saying that we weren't allowed to film if we were professionals.
Thank you for that compliment.
But Raising Cane's, I'm gonna have to dock you down a little bit.
You've been docked.
You've been docked. I've been docked. We said 7 out of 10. Now my experience is brought down to a solid 3.
Whoa.
You don't come at my boy.
One job.
You don't come at my boy.
There he goes.
Cross him off the last! Cross him off the fucking last!
But the Cowboys obviously didn't want him because they knew, like, if you're trading
They
back
traded
on,
back.
you go, every single trade was a street shot.
Here we go! Shoot him if you boot him. What a rush!
I know they're getting a lot of awesome content. They're getting fired up, getting ready. Still a few picks away. Big shout out to all you Cowboys fans. And they said no Brady rules applies.
CRACKEMIFYOUGOTEM! I'm a god! I am a Greek god! Oh, bad luck! He dropped the pick! Get down!
No!
Guyton!
He's not on your board.
Guyton!
I said this to Deffy. I was like, if anybody got picked, any offensive lineman that'd be upset about it would be Tyler Guyton. Be happy about that. We got a starter.
Yeah.
We got a starter, and we got a day 2 pick.
Hey, Tyler Guyton, welcome to the team!
Push me up a little bit more than that. Okay, that's good there, AJ.
Eric, BOTG, Bot D.
Time to pay the piper here.
Get
We're
this
about.
monkey suit off! Come on!
What are we doing here? We fucking got Guyton and we're fucking wearing suits still? What the is this bullshit?
Hey!
Paying the bills.
Cracker, go!
Thank you, Maniacs, for 20,000 subs. Thank you, Maniacs. 20,000 subs, thanks to the nation. You got our back like we eggs and bacon. Crack 'em if you got 'em, son. That be our war cry. Shotgun, screech shots, boosting every stream live. Thank you, Confana Maniacs. We do this cause we know you got our back. 20K milestone, all because of you. Big shout out fam from the Cam Fan crew. Thank you, Maniacs, for 20,000 subs. Thank you, Maniacs, now let's go get that dub. Thank you, Maniacs, for 20,000 subs. Thank you, Maniacs, now let's go get that dub. Thank you, Maniacs, for 20,000 subs. Thank you, Maniacs, now let's go get that dub. Thank you, Maniacs, for 20,000 subs. Thank you, Maniacs, now let's go get that dub. Thank you, Maniacs, for 20,000 subs. Thank you, Maniacs.
Where the fuck is he standing? Wide the fuck open!
Thank you, Maniacs.
How was he wide open?
20,000 subs. Thank you, Maniacs. 20,000 subs, thanks to the nation. You got our back like we eggs and bacon. Crack 'em if you got 'em, son. That be our war cry. Shotgun, street shots, boosting every stream live. Thank you, Can Maniacs. We do this cause we know you got our back. 20K milestone, all because of you. Big shout out, fam, from the Can Fan crew. Thank you, Maniacs, for 20,000 subs. Thank you, Maniacs, now let's go get that dub. Thank you, Maniacs, for 20,000 subs. Thank you, Maniacs, now let's go get that dub. Thank you, Maniacs, for 20,000 subs. Thank you, Maniacs, now let's go get that dub. Thank you, Maniacs, for 20,000 subs. Thank you, Maniacs, now let's go get that dub. Thank you, Maniacs, for 20,000 subs. Thank you, Maniacs. Thank you, Maniacs, for 20,000 subs. Thank you, Maniacs. Thank you, Maniacs, for 20,000 subs. Thank you, Maniacs.
Come on, man, listen, man. Shout out to Canada, man. Shout out to the whole Cowboys Can fam. You feel what I'm saying, man?
Thank you,
We're in the building, we're
Maniacs.
doing big things, and big things popping, little things stopping. We outside, worldwide. It ain't been stepped on.
Thank you, Maniacs.
Now the party's getting started, baby!
30 minutes. So you guys can load up right now for $4 or $5 a drink.
$5 a drink. Oh, why didn't you call my middle name, son?
We're here to kick ass on this happy hour. We're gonna have to draft them if you got them, right? Draft them if you got them. Let's go.
Show call, baby!
What's up, baby? How you doing, brother? I'm good. Okay, come. What's up, man? Puro pinche Cowboys.
Let's go. Point to the lips. Raise it, if you will. Come on, crack 'em if you got 'em, son.
That was Vegas 2022.
2032, baby! Las Vegas! Let's go! Vegas! So those are the 4 top stadiums for Super Cowboy, baby.
I love it.
Then you put your hand out.
Oh, yeah. But you gotta look up so people can think someone else is pouring it.
We will get naked for money.
Naked for money!
Super Cowboy said when we're in Texas, we have to have a shiner beard. So he bought us a brown, fellas. Get him up.
Let's go!
We are El Destino, Cowboy Camp fans right here, man. We're doing our thing, getting ready. Thanksgiving, we beating them damn Giants. That's what's happening for real. Let's go.
We're like giant pussies.
I'm gonna guess the sizes.
Well, I think it should be pretty easy to guess. Medium.
Oh shit! Large. Who's a medium?
much love to you guys. Keep doing your thing, baby. Happy Thanksgiving. Nothing but blessings. Let's go.
Beat the Cowboy, baby. Woo! Let's go!
You're gonna take it? Okay. All right.
Okay.
Hey.
Kind of like this.
Hey. Hey.
Your new AI songs are getting better.
They're getting better. Let me just do this.
Yeah, crack him if you got him. Get it. Let's get it.
Crack 'em if you got 'em,
Crack 'em if you
son.
got 'em.
Give us like some sort of main event. Give us your announcer voice.
Me? Or
Yeah,
AJ?
go.
Go,
Yeah,
go,
you
go,
get it, and then AJ will get our guest.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Cowboys Can Fan main event. I'm Lispy A.
Oh, that was good timing.
Hey. Okay.
All right, wow.
That was good.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, that's what we did.
Well, there we go. Let me just get rid of that thingy. And hey, look,
Crack
am I introing it the
You're
whole thing?
Yes, you are.
Damn, I love being in power. I love being in control.
You slut, Jay.
Well, I don't. Look, he's already been waiting for a little bit here, as we do. We just kind of sit in the background and chat. We have our. I mean, I'm going to call you a good friend, but that's just what we say.
To
We haven't
everybody?
technically met, but we have Ricardo Morales, aka Space Cowboy MD, on the socials, aka the Outsider Insider.
Ooh, welcome. See, we don't even have a clap. We'll clap here in studio for you.
What up, y'all? How you doing?
Good,
man.
good.
Good.
Space Cowboy, is it Space Cowboy MD? Like
MED.
medical MED.
I
okay.
always say
MED.
MD because I'm thinking I always.
I think I'm a doctor.
Yeah,
No,
I
I'm
do.
not.
Doogie Howser, MD.
You Doogie Howser son of a bitch.
I would. You know what you are? You're a doctor of the statistics in the Dallas Cowboys, baby.
You could say that, yeah.
Are you a stats guy? I'm gonna ask you because AJ's our stats guy. Ricardo, are you a stats guy? Pretty big stats guy?
Yeah, I'm a big stats guy, analytics guy, capologist. That's what I've been referred to as. So.
Capologist,
I
okay.
like that.
And you have a. Did you start a new show recently, or am I just late to the party?
I did. We had a bit of scheduling conflicts and a couple things happening behind the scenes. We're fixing up a couple things. And
Okay,
we should
okay.
be returning to that. Yeah. So.
Well, I'm excited to see that moving forward with you guys. I'm assuming, right now it's kind of tough anyways to have things to talk about, which is why we're bringing you on, because we're just going to
Just talk to us, please.
use you. Yeah. But yeah, I'm sure you guys will be ready for the season, so I'm looking forward to that.
yeah, for sure.
Okay, Anth, I've done my freaking part.
You want me to try?
Now you come in and you ask us how we're fucking doing.
Oh, how you guys doing?
Thank you.
How you guys doing? Hey guys, hey, Wednesday night, how you doing?
I'm good. I got a little Crackem in my hand. I got a pink lemonade today.
Okay.
From Drip with that double R.
How many
baby, dark
calories?
cherry.
You got to tell us.
Only 80 calories, and that's why
89.
89.
calories.
Sorry, and that's why I always drink 11 because I get that freebie.
It's a freebie, and it's summertime. You're trying to trim down on that waistline. Get that Drip vodka seltzer in you. AJ, that's how you feel. Ad, how you doing?
Yeah, that is
I'm feeling good. I mean, even with all the
political
things we
strife in the
Yeah,
world.
no, all the technology stuff that we have
yeah.
going on here, I still feel pretty good.
You feel
I
good?
feel even better. You know how I know it's getting close to season starting?
How?
Ultra Cowboys in the chat.
Oh,
He's
shit.
come out of his Puerto Rican cave.
He's out of his hibernation. Ricardo, how the hell are you doing?
I'm doing quite well. I got my birthday tomorrow, which
Oh,
is great.
shit.
And always when it's my birthday, it means that we are getting super close to football returning, which
Oh.
hopefully we could put what happened last year behind us, which we pretty much did.
Yep.
And we just hope that maybe this is a year that we can at least enjoy playing football and see how things go. So
Dude, the funny thing that you say about like putting last year past us, We kind of at some point last year, because we were all getting pissed off when it was we thought the Cowboys were still in contention. They were still in playoff contention, right? Playoffs. And the point where it was like, okay, they're eliminated and we could just sit back and just drink and have fun. It was kind of like a weight off our shoulders a little bit. Do I hate that? Like, would I rather have them be in playoff contention till week 18? Of course. But I like that we're past last year. 2024 is gone with the wind. It's a stupid little message in the bottle. She gone. We're pushing up into the 2025 season, and it feels good. Training camp is on the horizon, which is nice. There's a bunch of stories. There's a bunch of training camp battles, and that's why we got you here. We want to talk to you about some training camp battles, maybe get some predictions on how some players are going to do with their over-under of their statistical, what would it be, predictions?
Yeah,
but, we love having you on here, man. And again, football is on the horizon. And happy birthday.
Yes, thank you so much.
I want to know this. Between end of season, end of Super Bowl, and to date, what is the thing that you want to scream at people when you're chatting to them or talking with them online, or like what subject do you bring up that you feel the most on the other side of the fence on, I guess?
Regarding the Cowboys, I just think that people need to realize that it feels like it's same old, same old. And I think that there's this cycle that happens. I have no problem talking about training camp or anything like that. But to quote Allen Iverson, we're talking about practice, right? And I think that what happens is we get sucked into some of these guys that are not even going to even make the team, or let alone get on the practice squad, when at the end of the day, you already know who's going to be on the team. And we've kind of already, I don't know about you guys, but for me at least, I've always said that the Cowboys are a top-heavy team. The biggest thing that they needed to fix is the depth, because you kind of saw it last year. I mean, and you also saw that your top performers weren't performing up to par. So what ends up happening is when they don't do that, and when your depth doesn't show up, you see the results on the football field. So, and you didn't have coaching to mask those deficiencies. So we're kind of hoping that that changes this year.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. You didn't have coaching to mask the deficiency. That's a good little saying.
I don't know if this could be planned, but I wouldn't put it past a brilliant evil genius that Jerry Jones is, to hire the coach on this season, just kind of put everyone into, we've got a new football team mode. Guilty as well. And I do like our pillars, don't get me wrong. But I just felt like the new coach coming in, they could have changed nothing else, and it would just feel better going into the season because of that blanket over top of everything.
Yeah, it's like a ruse to be like, okay, well, you're moving on, you got something fresh. Like you said, it's all new coaches essentially.
Mm-hmm.
How this is just an open forum question here. How well do the Cowboys perform when they get a new coach? You got to think Mike McCarthy's first year wasn't great because it was the COVID year, right? So it was kind of like, and I believe Dak got hurt, so it was kind of one of those weird ass seasons that you can't really gauge too much. But I'm trying to think back, and Ricardo, you might have a better recollection of this. But Jason Garrett's first year, he took over I want to say 2009, and like just off.
2010.
2010,
and that was
okay.
halfway through the year. And if we're talking about like first year coaches, typically in Dallas, historically, they haven't done well. If we're talking about like Tom Landry, he went 0-11-1. Jimmy Johnson in his first year went 1-15. If you want to then talk about like Barry Switzer going 12-4, NFC title game appearance, it's, Jimmy Johnson's team, that, whatever. But if we're talking about like where we're at right now, I mean, in recent memory, right? Mike McCarthy, they went 6-10 primarily because of the injury to Dak Prescott. But even then, that team didn't look so great on paper. Well, not even on paper, but on the field defensively. Jason Garrett, his first full year was 8-8 in 2011. And then you look at Wade Phillips before him. He went 13-3 with a team that was primed to win as Bill Parcells.
I was going to say that was Bill Parcells.
Yeah.
Built team.
And Bill Parcells went 10-6. And I think the biggest thing is that with Brian Schottenheimer, and I'm pretty sure, I've already discussed it, and I'm pretty sure you guys did too. Now, look, we're here where we're at. But again, I'm not a fan of the process with how they went about it, because in essence, what you did was you fulfilled the Rooney Rule. You talked to Kellen Moore, then you talked to a guy that was your offensive coordinator, and you're expecting massive cultural changes, or you're thinking that, hey, maybe we could do something better. But for those that don't know, Mike McCarthy was supposed to be back here. The problem was they couldn't agree to a contract extension. It wasn't that they didn't want him. I think I want people to understand this, that they were okay with Mike McCarthy coming back. The problem was that they couldn't agree to a short-term deal. The Joneses wanted a incentive-laced 3-year deal, but Mike McCarthy wanted a 4-year deal that gave him a bit more leeway. Now, again, you wasted 2024 because you really should have fired him after that playoff loss. That was a fireable offense, without a doubt. Now, and I'm not trying to talk junk on Brian Schottenheimer. Listen, it's his first time being a head coach. You can clearly see he put together a great staff on paper, and it doesn't feel like a bunch of retreads and stuff like that. The other thing, too, is he's saying the right things, and you're kind of see him push the envelope on acquiring players, which we didn't see in the Mike McCarthy era. So long story short, I think that when you come from a history of your dad being one of the best NFL coaches of all time, let alone, one to not make it to a Super Bowl, but if you kind of look at his history, right, if he is going to build Marty Ball in Dallas, it's exactly what we need. A team that is able to run the ball effectively and efficiently and be able to play good defense, because we've seen in the playoffs, that's how you win championships. As much as you see like the passing and all that, the sexy stats in the passing game, it really comes down to being able to run the football and stop the run. And the Cowboys haven't done that in the playoffs, ever in the 21st century.
Yeah, since their Super Bowl runs, that's been non-existent. And even not even just in the postseason, that's kind of been, and sure they've had the Zeke years where they could run the football, but when have the Cowboys in the last 20 years ever really been good at stopping the run? They just haven't. It just has not happened. It's always been their weakness. They've had some premier pass stopping guys, couple good cornerbacks, but it's always just seems like their weakness is you can get ran on at all times. So I would love for Schottenheimer to come in here and fix things. But what do you think? So speaking about the defense, like a guy like Eberflus, that hiring, are you kind of happy or not happy about that?
I'm cool with it. I've always liked Matt Eberflus as a defensive mind. In fact, they should have promoted him to defensive coordinator years back before he left for Indianapolis, but they were dead set on keeping Rod Marinelli. But I never liked Rod Marinelli, and so I think that, like we've seen with a guy like Dan Quinn, for example, one of the things is that there are guys that are made to be a good head coach, and there are others that are not. And I've said it. I never thought Matt Eberflus was the making of a good head coach. I thought that he's best as a DC. And you kind of start to see these things. And the other thing that you see the trend of is that good teams that make it far into January and even into February hire like older, experienced defensive coordinators. You look at the Eagles, they brought in Vic Fangio. You look at a team like the Chiefs, they have Spagnuolo from the Giants, as we know. And so, and by the way, those two were not good head coaches, but when you put them in a spot where they could specialize with what they can do, things definitely will pan out. And I understand that we all want to get brand new coaches, but when you really look at how we put this staff together, a lot of first-time guys, a lot of guys from the college ranks, it feels like a breath of fresh air. It's not like Mike McCarthy, where it felt like you're hiring your friends. You're kind of just trying to do certain things to pay off favors, like when he brought in Mike Nolan, and then you got attached at the hip with Kellen Moore. But to finish up my point on that, I think the big thing that the Cowboys did was allow the coaching staff to get on the same timeline, and that's key. Like, you're not having a holdover. Like, for example, you had Kellen Moore as a holdover from Jason Garrett, and you had to deal with that. Whether we want to, look at what he did and feel, I don't really care. But my point is that you need to give a coach the ability to build his own leash.
It's irrelevant what he did anywhere else. It's like you said, you hire a head coach, let him bring in who he wants to bring in.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it almost feels a little bit unfair. Like it honestly feels like if you have success, it's because the guys that are still there. But if you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you get that position. If I got a position as I'm just trying to think of an example, like a CEO somewhere for a new company, I would want to bring in some of my managers and stuff, right? So if you're a head coach for a new football team, you should be able to at least have your pick an offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
Right. No, I completely agree.
It seems to me like that should just be part of the whole hiring process. Is like, okay, we're gonna bring you on, and like, who do you who do you want to replace? Who do you want to bring with you? But I'm sure that's not always the case. With some guys who are
Kellen
just
Moore,
just let me get the job.
It was just and I mean Mike McCarthy probably just wanted to get into another head coaching spot. But I like what Ricardo said. The Cowboys were set on bringing Mike McCarthy back, and that's something that wasn't touched on a lot in the offseason. We were all at the point I was like, okay, Mike McCarthy's coming back. They haven't agreed to it yet because they hadn't fired him right out the get-go.
No. At the time, to me too, it made sense. Like a 3-year extension or something. I think we were talking about.
That's what we all wanted, that's what the Cowboys wanted too.
Right. And so, do you think he wanted more?
Yeah, Big Mike wanted 5. He wanted 5 years.
Yeah.
And they said, no, get the fuck out of here, Mike.
And the main thing is when you really look at that is just like the thing that was the telltale sign, and this is exactly why I hate how the Cowboys handled their process. I understand their process. Like, there are people that will tell me, well, Space, this is just how they operate. I'm like, yeah, I understand that, but that doesn't mean I'm okay with that. You waste a whole year and put your quarterback, put your other players in a position that they don't need to be in, all because you can't make a decision. And I think it's the indecision that screwed them over last year, because when you really look at it, you did nothing in free agency other than let guys go and sign like 3 dudes that were on 1-year deals. That's nothing. And then on top of that, you're thinking, oh, we'll just run it back. That's not how it works in the NFL. You can't expect to do that. Even if you went 12-5, 3 straight years, that doesn't matter. But the main thing is that you waited too long, and then you kind of go into this like, okay, well, they have tunnel vision, and I hate that. The last 2 coaches that we have had in Garrett and McCarthy, they have not fired them. They let their contracts expire. So if that's any telling sign, considering the fact that you gave Brian Schottenheimer a 4-year contract, and along the side that you gave Dak Prescott a 4-year extension, what that's telling me is that anything they do from now moving forward is all about these next 4 years and trying to see, can you do something in this window? So that's where I'm thinking with them.
You made a good point about that, and they have the Cowboys, and it was made notice that Jerry Jones doesn't like to fire coaches, right? It's a known fact, but realistically, Mike McCarthy should have been fired the day after the Green Bay loss, right? In my mind, like after that Green Bay loss, nobody got fired. Dan Quinn got a head coaching job, so he left. They kept Mike McCarthy, and then, like you mentioned, 2024 was essentially a write-off. You wasted a year out of Micah Parsons' prime. You wasted a year out of CeeDee Lamb's prime. 2 guys that are in the top 5 of their positional groups in the NFL, if not top 3. It's like you got to move. You got to get shit or get off the pot, and the Cowboys have been terrible at it.
Right. And now we're here in 2025, and I think that for me, wasn't a fan of the hiring process, but the key thing I said on my channel and on Twitter, X, whatever we call it these days, is that whoever you hire, you need to go get the ingredients for this guy. And clearly they have. Granted, a lot of the guys they added in free agency, not the biggest fans, like some of these are just camp bodies, but you go and get George Pickens. You go and make some trades for other dudes on your defense. And on top of that, you go and you get, I would argue, an upgrade possibly, because he's still young, in Joe Milton at the backup quarterback position. So the big thing is there's buy-in to what Brian Schottenheimer is doing. And so then there's this theory that I've talked with people behind the scenes is, okay, did Mike McCarthy not really push what he wanted? And what I mean by that is like, okay, was he okay with what he had? Because if you look at the history back in Green Bay, they weren't really active in free agency with him on board as the coach. And then when Matt LaFleur comes along, they're starting to like, hey, let's go into free agency and do some stuff. So that kind of leans into a theory of, okay, is Mike McCarthy a dude that's just like, I'm just going to do with what I got, and I don't really care what you get me. So he's not pushing that envelope, unless it's the draft room, which is a completely different situation. But if you're not willing to be like, I need to make this better, then gonna do yourself any
Then
favors.
get the fuck out of here. Is what I say
Exactly.
about that.
Exactly.
Two real quick things.
It's not going to be quick.
No, but the second one might not be. The first one will be because it's directed to space here. Do you feel the Cowboys will have a better or worse record than last year?
They'll have a better.
Okay.
They have to.
Like,
barring Dak Prescott's health,
Sure.
I would say.
I mean, no, duh. I mean, if you don't have your franchise quarterback, you ain't going anywhere.
You're gonna be
But
shit.
if we're really, I mean, if we're being honest with ourselves, the fact that team won 7 games last year, and considering that was mostly with a backup quarterback, half your defense injured, that alone, like,
Was
not even
impressive.
just that, but that's impressive. But also, you got to think about this. Okay, you're in a situation where if you look at the NFC, you can't tell me that there's 7 other teams that are better than the Dallas Cowboys. Like, I can understand if you say like a couple, but the thing is you get 7 spots in the playoffs, and I think the Cowboys will make one of those spots at least.
This is okay. Let's just do a quick roundtable. This will be fast. We're gonna just go through right now.
I forgot my other thing.
Okay, we're gonna go through right now. We're gonna start with space. Best NFC team.
The Eagles.
Okay, add NFC team.
Eagles.
No, you have to. He already took the Eagles.
Oh, I have to go some. Oh,
We have to. I want to see if we could name how many teams
Oh,
are better
sorry,
than the Cowboys in the NFC.
For some reason, I thought we were going NFC East because Space said Eagles.
No, just NFC.
Detroit.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah. Here's my problem: is I don't really know.
Yes, you do.
I'm gonna say like Green Bay or Minnesota.
Yeah.
One
Okay.
of
Well,
those
you
two?
named 2 though.
I
so
know.
just give us one.
Green Bay.
Yeah,
Green
good.
Bay. And this is controversial because I don't know if it's true. I'm gonna say Washington. Right now, I think Washington is a better team. Space, it's back to you. That's 4 we got, or 3 we got. 4 teams we've named.
We're doing all in NFC.
Oh. I'll say Minnesota. I'll just throw Minnesota in as a 5th.
And I think that might be where it stops. You could argue maybe the Bucks. Maybe the Bucks could be a little bit better.
I would say the Bucks over Minnesota coming into this
But
season.
Frisco.
even if you want to say San Francisco or something like that,
Okay,
the thing
Frisco,
is
yeah.
that. But like, here's my thing, right? Like, I think you could stop at 6, and we had to hesitate before we thought about Tampa Bay,
Right.
because if we're really gonna go through like just rapid fire, you look at the NFC South. All the teams are just mid.
Yeah, they suck.
Put it bluntly.
No one forever.
Forever.
Whoever is worried about the NFC South, never.
Right. You have the Giants who are still in a mess. You look
Yep.
at the West, like you have the Rams, you have the 49ers, but like to me, I still think the Cowboys, if they were to suit up and play today, I think the Cowboys are a better team than those other teams. But my thing is that it's a long season, and I think that the Cowboys typically bounce back after poor seasons. Like, if we're talking about what they've done, they should. But the moral of the story, Cowboys fans, is that it would literally have to take the train falling off the track for this team not to make the playoffs. We're not talking about winning the division. We're not talking about having the number 1 seed in the NFC. It's just straight up making the playoffs. They should make it.
Yeah, the last 2 times the Cowboys had shitty seasons, 2020. The following, crack 'em if you got 'em. The following year they went 12-5, and then before that was 2015 that they really sucked, and then 2016 I think they went 13-3. So off a bad year, and 7-10 is honestly not even that bad of a year. I think in 2014 2015 they were 4 and something or 5 and something, and then in 2020 they were 6-10. I think you said. So it's like 7-10 is not that bad when considering you were missing your starting quarterback.
Right.
Brent Packer guy says, I'm on some good stuff, but this guy apparently has better. I need the name of your guy. So Brent Packer guy is a Green Bay Packer fan, obviously. Don't think he was quite agreeing with your take on the Cowboys coming in and taking out some of those teams in there.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, the fact is no one thinks the Cowboys are going to do anything this year. I mean, that's what makes me laugh is like the Cowboys like do really good when no one expects most of them. And so you're going into a year where everyone thinks that Dak Prescott is not even a top 16 quarterback. Everyone thinks that the Cowboys are like a bottom 20 team in the conference, or not even the conference. I'm sorry, the NFL.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I really don't care because, I expect, okay, if we're going into the season, the Cowboys should not do well at all. So if they do even decent, it's just about the play. I mean, I understand that, but there's a lot that goes on, like, so
What
What camp do you fit in? Like, is it about the season stats or is it playoffs to Super Bowl? Like, what how do you gauge a team being successful?
It's definitely, of course, about the playoff success for sure. But like, this is where to quote my guy on Twitter, your guy Nix, BJ Nix, he's always said that look, if their organizations win Super Bowls, right? And you see that in the playoffs, and you might be saying, "Oh, well, you got a quarterback that doesn't play well," or "Oh, you have a deficiency here." So great organizations understand those things and they make corrections. The Cowboys don't do that. If we look at what they've done also, and this is what the one thing I like what Mike McCarthy has done, if there's anything that's I liked of what he did, was he took the Cowboys to the playoffs or led them to the playoffs 3 straight years. I understand we only got the one playoff one, but it shift that Overton window to where when we were under Jason Garrett, it was like, if we can make the playoffs, that's a successful season, right? Even though like there are fans that are like, oh, we need to win a Super Bowl. But point being is people forget that's how it used to be. And we were so up and down. With Mike McCarthy, you had that sustained regular season success. So then when you got to the playoffs, guess what? Everyone doesn't give a damn what you did in the regular season. All that matters is the postseason. And I think that helps the dialogue about what this team needs to do to get past that divisional round wall and let alone get to the Super Bowl. So I would say that I'm in the camp now where I don't care what you do. Like Dak Prescott could throw 500 interceptions in the regular season, but if we win a championship, I could give a damn less. And that's what a lot of fans are going to think that because of where we're at.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think just for like regardless, any team getting to the playoffs absolutely can be a success. If you're doing it every single season, sure, you're still happy about it, but it does kind of bleed into like, okay, having a winning record, we expect that. Getting to the playoffs, obviously, okay, you expect that. But we do need a victory there. And the hard thing is, yeah, I'm kind of in the camp of get me to an NFC championship game, and I think, and then lose well if you're going to lose,
That's
right?
why
I think the problem is getting to the playoffs, and then it's not losing in the wild card round or in the first round if they make it past that. It's we're all jacked and they come out flat-footed and you're like, what the fuck were you doing in between the last game of the season and this game here? And some of it has been just a bad call and some of it has just been coming out flat-footed. But either way, that's, I think, for me, the biggest concern is like, I want to get there, but if you're going to come out flat-footed, it would suck for the season. I'd rather get that higher draft pick if that's how you're going to perform if you actually make it to the playoffs.
So that's why the playoff game, and this is the last thing we're gonna talk about on Mike McCarthy. Fuck Mike McCarthy.
We're still talking about Mike McCarthy.
He's eating Whataburger somewhere right now on his $1 million fucking castle that he's made coaching the NFL. But the reason it was so disappointing because his first year was COVID. They finished 6-10, whatever, right? The next year they went 12-5, lost in the wild card round. The next year, they ended up making it to the divisional. Then the next year, it was like, okay, they made it to the divisional. He's kind of impressed every year since then. He's improved. Mm-hmm. And then they came out and laid an egg against the Green Bay Packers. And it was just like, oh, my God. We are the same old fucking team.
Right. And then...
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, guys.
I was switching lanes.
He was trying to switch lanes to keep the show fucking going. But
let's get your final thought.
Let's go.
Well, you had a thought. Now I want to hear it. Okay.
Well, I was gonna move into what 2025. I guess what my expectation is, and it has nothing to do now. So this is where I'm at, right? The fact is you have a brand new head coach, and a lot of people will say, like, okay, we need to make it to the NFC title game. The problem is that what has been the number one thing that people have been clamoring about or two things I should say, is culture and identity. Every single game last 5 years, it was like one day we'll come out doing this and another day we're doing this. Now, again, I'm not saying every game it has to be the same. Because look, it's the NFL. You got to adjust on the fly.
You got to adapt, baby.
But the point was that the one thing that I absolutely hated was that when you lose in the playoffs, we're tired, we were nervous, we were scared, whatever the bullshit they want to say. Yep. So based off of what Schottenheimer's trying to do, he's trying to build the cohesion that really hasn't been there. And I think that people want to, that's the big like word is culture. And I think that I need to see that improvement. So going into this year, because to me, what they did in the offseason, the draft, it screams to me we're building towards next year as the year to try and open that window up. And who knows, maybe they do something this year. But my main thing is that I want to see a vision. I want to see like, okay, there is clearly something being built here. Because at the end of the day, I don't expect the Cowboys to go from 7-10 to a Super Bowl contender just like that. Now, they've done a lot more moves to kind of move that window in that direction, and I have gone on record. I'm usually pessimistic, but they've done enough this offseason to really be like, okay, they had a good offseason. And really, most of that came from the George Pickens trade. It's just, you look at what they've built so far, and it's not like they don't have a bad team. It's not like they don't have a good team. They clearly do. I think a lot of people forget that when this team is fully healthy, right? Oh, it's if space, if this, if that. But point being, they have a good roster. You look at their offense, you got the quarterback. Whether you like him or not, he is a quarterback that can get you there. He's good enough to get you there. Running back room could use some work. You add it to your receiver room. I would argue you upgraded over Brandon Cooks. Your tight end room, solid. Your offensive line's young, and you hope that they can develop quickly into some monsters. And defensively, I felt like you needed to still do some work there. But you're in a much better position than last year. So to me, like, I think if you were to like ask me, Space, what do you think they'll do this year? I think they'll make it into the playoffs. Depending on the matchup, they'll win a game, maybe two. But I think their ceiling is divisional round team, depending on the matchup.
Hey, fuck. I do want to see a playoff victory. Playoffs.
Yeah, just being engaged in the season come December.
Or lose and feel like, holy shit, what a battle.
They played.
What a battle.
Not
like,
a wipeout. Not a wipeout.
We've been to how many games? 5, 6 games?
7. I don't
Seven?
know. Something.
Whatever.
7.
We've lost one, right, while we were there?
No.
we've lost San Francisco and
we watched
well.
Vegas. We watched us lose against Vegas.
So maybe the
2021.
But anyways, the first loss that we had was that Raiders game.
Yep.
That went to overtime. 33-30.
And it didn't feel that bad because it was like a Thanksgiving Day game. Team was good.
It was a good battle.
They lost in overtime. You're like, you know what? Sure, I didn't like all the Raiders fans yelling in my face after, but it's like, well, we can't do it.
Raiders! No, but at that point, it's like I'm not frustrated because I felt like the team played well.
Yeah.
A couple lucky bounces went the Raiders' way, and they ended up winning. That's when they had Jacobs.
You just want to see a damn game.
Yeah, I was just like, look, like, hey, take it. Like, and use me as your tool for glee if you need to. It doesn't really hurt. It would have hurt if we were at the game where Dak did the late slide and we lost because of some sort of bum-ass technicality. Not saying that they would have scored, but definitely would have liked to see that play played out. And so those are the two conflicting moments in my head that I'm like, I'd rather have the latter or the former, sorry.
I just want to watch games where they win.
The good news is I've not been to a Cowboys playoff game for that exact reason because I was like, I have said, I've gone on record where if they were to make it to I said it last year, if they made it to the divisional round, I would have found time to make it out there. But the problem is they didn't make it out there, but that's okay because I kind of have learned to just expect, or what's the word I'm looking for? You hope for the best and expect nothing, because that's how you kind of like. You probably know you got. I don't think you guys are. Last time we talked, I don't think you guys are big into hockey, but it's like they always mention that the Cowboys, or excuse me, the Toronto Maple Leafs are the Dallas Cowboys of the hockey world. So I always say, look, at the end of the day, you just kind of like get used to it, but like that doesn't mean that we accept the results. Like, okay, you got to do better. Right. So, but like, that's the thing is, what's going to happen, guys? Let's say the Cowboys majestically make it to the NFC title game and lose. Like, let's just say that what happened with Washington happened to the Cowboys, right? That'd be cool. But guess what? Then, it's going to be the offseason talk from all Cowboys fans. Well, we made it to the NFC title game, but we didn't make it to the Super Bowl. So why does it matter?
Totally.
That's why, I had arguments with my friends. Like, okay, would you rather be blue balled like the 49ers have been? Or would you rather be like the Dallas Cowboys where you go on this long drought and hope to God they get out of it? And to be honest with you, it would be cool to go see the team in the Super Bowl, but imagine watching your team blow 2 10-point leads in 2 separate Super Bowls.
And being and paying 10 grand to watch that happen.
Well, yeah, but just like regardless, like it's you make a great point because you get all the Jaden Daniels fans, and Oh, and they showed the punter. The Washington Commanders punter has thrown more yards in an NFC championship than Dak Prescott. But it's like, who gives a fuck? They lost the fucking game.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Losing an NFC championship game or losing a Super Bowl shouldn't put that team up on any other team.
No,
it shouldn't.
It's a weird flex. It should be for you as a fan. You could be individually or within your friends in this room.
We're all friends.
And this online room, this digital room. We would be like, okay, I'm happy we won a playoff game and just to see it done. Like, but I'm not going to go and brag about that to anyone. I'm not going to go.
You
and
made
say,
a Super Bowl,
right? And
so
so I wouldn't use that as like, if you made, like, the whole point of this thing is to go out and win a championship. We're not putting teams together so that we can like count stats at the end of the season and be like, oh, CeeDee Lamb at 1,800 yards, woohoo! You know, like that's awesome to see because it would mean that there's exciting moments throughout the season. But ultimately, who gives a shit? We're here to try to get our team, or
Super Bowls are bust, baby.
we're doing what we can as fans to get our team a Super Bowl.
Super Bowls are bust, man. And I know it's been a long fucking time, but that at the end of the day, if your
should
team
be that for everyone.
if your team isn't, if at the end of the year there's 31 losers, there's 31 fan bases that suck, right? It shouldn't be one fan base is better than the other because their rookie quarterback lost a fucking NFC championship game. Okay, sweet. Jaden Daniels has one more NFC championship loss than Dak Prescott. How is that a fucking flex? Until he gets to a Super Bowl, it's irrelevant.
And that's the thing is, to quote the great Ricky Bobby, if you ain't first, you're last.
Fucking A.
Like, and that's the thing. Like, see, like, I throw out this example, and you guys probably might know it, might not know it. When's the last time the Vikings were in the NFC title game?
98?
2017. No one remembers the year they had. Yeah. That was the year that they had the Minnesota Miracle and they beat the Saints in the playoff game. They got beat by the Eagles. No one's like, oh my God, Case Keenum has made it to the end. Like, no one gives a shit about that anymore because it doesn't matter. Like, you could pull up the Bills. I know the Bills were in the AFC title game last year, but before that, it was like 2018, 2019. So the main thing is it doesn't matter what you did when you lost. It's about who is holding that trophy at the end. And I'm not trying to sit here and create excuses for the Dallas Cowboys. Absolutely not. Anybody knows me, I'm super critical of them. But I'm not going to sit here and bullshit people and be like, yeah, I would like to see my team make it to the Super Bowl and lose just because I want to see him in it. Who the fuck wants to see that?
Yeah.
So that's what the reason I bring that up for our conversation is that just for Cowboys fans to understand that other teams have it worse than we do. Other teams have been in worse positions, and we happen to be in a position where, we're at least making the playoffs. We're not like the Jets where we haven't made the playoffs in like 14, 15 years.
Ooh.
I understand we like, oh, by the way, people bring up the Jets. Oh, the Jets made it to a title game before the I really don't care because to me, you can brag if you win. Cool. I have no problem, even though I don't really care.
Yeah.
But that's where, like, I hope that, fingers crossed, I hope the Cowboys have the last laugh. It would be awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, the funniest thing, like back to that crack. Oh yeah, let me get one of those. Crack him if you got him. The funniest thing is this picking and choosing what's important, and I think all four of us here right now can agree. The only bragging rights is if you won the Super Bowl. The Eagles right now, yeah, of course, they have bragging rights over the Cowboys. They've won 2 Super Bowls in under the last 10 years. They can talk shit to me as much as they want, bring up Super Bowls all that they want, and I'll take it. I'll be like, you're right, you did. But like a Commanders fan or a Niners fan trying to bring up that they've been to a Super Bowl or been to an NFC championship, it's like, get the fuck out of here. Get out. Like, that is just not a good arguing point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 27 or going to be 27 tomorrow, and
Happy birthday, Space.
The Cowboys owe me several gifts. It's like the joke. My fiance sent me this joke, or I showed her, where it was like, yeah, remember that gift I gave you like 30 years ago? Do you still want it? Like, it's just like, because that's the Cowboys right now. But then again, from my perspective, the Cowboys being a perpetual disappointment in the playoffs. It's mesmerizing. I mean, like, they find the most entertaining ways to lose. That's why, like, as much as I guess, and that's why I have it on my profile. I'm a professional Dallas Cowboys masochist because I just love seeing how this team could disappoint me. But at the same time, we all want to see them win.
Hell yeah.
So I think that, but going into this year, I think we have a lot to be excited about because they actually made a couple moves that we could be like, hell yeah, they finally did something. So
My thing always is I'm happy for these moves. The George Pickens things for sure. The moves that they made to just have options in the running back room just gives me a little more hope. And if we're going to be a bad team, at least make sure, Micah Parsons can be exciting in himself on defense, but at least make offense exciting. So like when we're watching the game, we can celebrate a couple.
We don't want to unalive ourselves.
Yeah, and like I understand that, but make one side of the ball so fantastic that we can at least enjoy a football game.
Okay, well that's a good segue. Yeah. You've had this fucking Nick Harris X
Neckbeard
post.
Nick, baby.
Yeah, you've had this Nick Harris X post on the screen. I don't know if it's been on the screen, but I've been looking at it for at least 20 minutes. So AJ, take us on your little trip of this X post.
I have not put it on the screen yet because
we'll get it up
in convo.
Get it up, and get it in.
Do you like our nickname for him? Space
Neckbeard Nick.
Yes, I think that's a great nickname. In fact.
But yeah, great post here on X. And there's a bunch of articles, and we'll open the articles and look. But I figure what we're gonna do is read what he says here on these posts, and then we'll comment on who we think is safe on the bubble or has work to do. Basically, let's just say who we think might be cut from the Cowboys, and that's what this whole thing is. Nick Harris has let me just read what he has to say. I'm back from vacation with a position-by-position breakdown and roster projection ahead of the start of the Cowboys training camp next week. So this is a little bit ago, but great article. Let's dive into it. So he has 42 Cowboys safe, 26 of them on the bubble, and 20 with work to do, and there's 3 on the IR or PUP. So some of these are very obvious, and some of them, we might disagree with or agree with. So we'll,
I hope he does it in order.
He does. We start with quarterback. I don't think we need to dive into this. The on the bubble is Greer, and the safes are Milton and, of course, Dak Prescott.
Yeah, you ain't trading for a quarterback to then cut him.
No.
Milton safe.
No.
Greer safe.
It's just a matter of, do you want to carry 3 quarterbacks? I understand that they have the whole, you can carry an emergency quarterback, and I think it doesn't count against, the thing. I don't really care. The quarterback room is set. There's no reason to,
go
it's just a matter of,
schematics.
Running back is a little more interesting. He has 2 safe, 3 on the bubble, and 1 with work to do. Neckbeard Nick says, one of the most polarizing position groups will have a lot of eyes from day one in Oxnard.
Well, I want to ask space here. Who's the 2 guys that you think are safe, that Nick thinks are safe in the running back room?
I'm gonna say Javonte Williams and Jaden Blue.
Yeah.
Unless he's counting. Well, here's the thing: if he's counting Hunter Lipke as a fullback, then yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I'm saying it's.
You would
those
think
2.
he would count him as a fullback because that's what he's listed as, and not kind of group him. Well, I mean, I'm just saying. I'm saying with the amount of running backs that we have,
I'm thinking it's Williams and Blue. I'm thinking it's those 2.
Those 2 are for sure on the team. If I had to pick right now, those are the 2 dudes.
Well, safe, yeah. Williams and Jaden Blue.
That's I figured.
Yeah.
Jaden Blue, sure, 5th round pick, but his upside is just too good. He's going to be on the team for sure.
Yeah, and I think.
I mean,
go ahead, Space.
No, I was just gonna say, the thing is I feel like Javonte Williams is very much so like Rico Dowdle 2.0, not in an insulting way, but he's a hurt guy that if he stays healthy, he's gonna give you productive carries. I think that for Jaden Blue, what I like about him is he has that change of pace speed that you're gonna want, and I think that's why he would make the team. You finally invested some guys in there, and I think that for a 5th round pick, he could definitely make a name for himself this year.
Yeah, I feel like Jaden Blue is what they imagined when they, when they took Deuce Vaughn, it was a bit of a homer pick. But I feel like that's what they took him for. It was like, hey, I think we can do some fun things with this guy at the back. He could run the ball.
I mean, Deuce did have a fucking insane college career. He did. Better than Jaden Blue even.
He's had moments when he has been playing in the NFL, and perhaps it was the styles of play that they were trying to run him in. So I'm not trying to shit on him any more than I already have in the past.
We all have. We have not. We've been on record to not be a big fan of Deuce Vaughn. Not as a person, not as anything other than we didn't think he'd be an NFL player.
Just don't think that. And I feel like Jadon Blue is that just an upgrade. And he's got his biggest benefit and where I think he's going to like make the most out of his Dallas Cowboys career is in the coming out of the backfield, catching the football. Not saying that he won't have success running, but that's what he's kind of built for, is that type of player in my mind. And
it is one of the positions that is almost like the most up for grabs. Like you could be Phil Maffa, you could be Miles Sanders, you could be Williams, Blue.
So they
Deuce
did
Vaughn.
include
Hang on, hang on.
Lepke,
Sorry, they didn't. But I was going to say it's the one position that any one of those guys could come in and take it.
Yep.
Because there isn't a clear one. But anyway, sorry.
Totally.
Sorry, I cut Anth off for cutting me off, but now you can go ahead and say what you're going to say.
Oh no, I was just going to say they did have Hunter Lepke on the bubble, which I was surprised about.
Fuck, you're gonna play my boy Lepke like that?
No,
He's a
because
fullback,
but no,
dog.
I just thought that I wasn't sure if they were gonna group him into the running backs. I love Lepke.
I'm saying whoever wrote the article.
Because he's on the bubble.
Yeah, you fucking put my boy. Lepke on the net.
You're a fucking fullback. You are always on the bubble.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you know what? Honestly, though, like if you probably would remove Lepke, and if you got like the size guy of John Stevens or is it Brevin Spanford?
Yep.
The size of him, and you kind of integrate him in the tight end, like you don't
What,
necessarily
and bring him as fullback instead?
No, not a fullback. I'm just saying, like you're the type of offensive schemes that you're doing, you're going to get that same type of blocking structure from that. You could probably run like a Phil Maffa in place of a Lepke and have a dual running back in that.
I see,
in
to
that
save
spot.
space.
To save space. I'm saying.
Dare I say that Phil Maffa is probably the running back I'm most excited to see in preseason?
I'm excited. I think he's a sleeper.
I
pick.
like what he did at Clemson.
Yeah.
I liked what he did at Clemson. I thought that he should have gone higher. I was shocked he was as late as he was. But I think looking at this list, I think for Hunter Lepke, I think it's really dependent on what Brian Schottenheimer really wants to do, because we kind of saw glimpses of what Lepke could do last year. So I thought that, maybe he is safe, but I think it just comes down to the comfortability, because to your point, and this is kind of what the Cowboys have done in years past without a fullback, is they just utilize tight ends in those particular formations that, can block and things like that. So yeah, you could definitely put Brevin Spanford back there, but at the same time, I think what you get from Hunter Lepke is a guy that is quicker. I think you get a guy that has some juice in the backfield, and I think that if I were them, I think it should be you you might have to carry 4 running backs. I don't think 3 is enough, because we got Miles Sanders. I personally think Miles Sanders is gone. Like, I think he's a camp body. I just think that compared to the other dudes on the list, and then as for Phil Maffa, I think that he is on the bubble because of when you look at his build. Let me look. I think he's like he's a 6'1" fella.
Yeah,
so,
6'1", like 230 or some shit.
I mean,
If
it were up to me, I think that it should be just you take so I'm just making sure the 4, if we're including Lepke, it should be Williams, Blue, Maffa, Lepke, and just roll with that. I don't give a damn about everybody else on the roster.
Yeah.
So you're going rookies, and we've talked about that before. We're like, man, let these rookies come in, thunder and lightning together. Get Javonte Williams, the vet presence, and just see what they can do behind that guy. And I wouldn't be upset with that. But I agree with the 4. If you're including the fullback into how many they keep, it has to be at least 4. I think with the fullback they keep 5, honestly, because it's going to be tough with the wide receivers. But there's a lot of talent in the running back room.
Yeah, it'll be a tough decision. I agree. Like, I want to see Phil Maffa succeed. I like his size. I like the name Phil. Is just fucking dope.
And what about Maffa, motherfuckers?
Yeah. And I
just want to be able to scream that every Sunday.
Well, and just totally thinking from a video game Madden perspective here. If I drafted 2 running backs, I kind of want to make those my starters the following season. So
of course.
I'm just like.
Yeah.
Exactly. We got him in the position that he went because he was injured that last year at Clemson. Like, he didn't have the type of season that you'd expect him to have. So had he not been injured, I mean, we picked up a lot of like work in progress type of dudes.
The RBs
this year, but I don't know. I think the funny thing with Phil Maffa, just quickly here, Space, my 12-year-old, when we were playing CFB 25. I think he was playing against Anth, and he was Clemson, and I think Anth was Texas. And Riker, my son, was like, "Oh, Phil Maffa, I love Phil Maffa."
I was like, "Fuck Phil Maffa, he's slow as shit."
But he's slow, and he was barreling through.
He was dummying me.
He was dummying as a running back. So then when the draft happened that weekend, and we picked Maffa,
we were all jacked up.
And then Riker.
Yeah, it's funny as hell, man.
It was hilarious.
Okay, before we move on from the running backs room, the only needs work. They had one guy. It was Deuce Vaughn, who we already shit on.
Dude, he's not even making the team this year. He has to do some impeccable shit to make the team.
Yeah, and this is the thing. I think as soon as they designate him as on the practice squad, I think another team might take a swing at him. So I don't think he's on the team this year.
Me either. I don't think he's making it.
Wide receivers now. We got 5 safe, 2 on the bubble, and 5 with work to do. We have 12 wide receivers.
Well, this is crazy. I said wide receivers is probably the biggest depth position that the Cowboys have right now.
Right, and I'm pretty sure it's the receiver room's more or less set, and I say that with all due respect to everybody else in that room. Literally, it's CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, and then you say, fuck it, Jalen Tolbert and everyone else. I don't really give a fuck. You're just in the room. Like,
What about Turp? What about Turp?
I mean, I love Turp. I think that they should use him more. I was big on Turp. I would say that if Turp was used more in the slot, that would be dangerous as hell. But like when you look at that list. So you have Lamb, Pickens. We'll just say Tolbert is 3, Turpin is 4, and Mingo is 5. That's a lot. And I'm going to just be honest with y'all. I honestly don't think Mingo should be safe.
No, he shouldn't
I
be.
really don't.
I don't think Tolbert should be safe.
I don't think he should be. Well, I think that
battle it out.
I think between Tolbert and Mingo, you got to decide. But if I had to choose, I would take Tolbert. I think Tolbert's a more proven player than Mingo. And look, when you look at the film of what Mingo did last year, I understand he didn't have Dak Prescott there. He's got a nice he has a build that you would like.
Yeah.
But guess what? You have a guy named Ryan Flournoy that literally has the same build as Jonathan Mingo. That's why I was pissed when they made the trade, because I'm like, why would you trade for a dude that clearly is going to end up being like a wide receiver 4 or 5 for you in a year? And hello, here we are. So it is annoying, but I guess then again, I understand why he's saying he's safe. The Cowboys love to stick with the guys they made trades for because they're arrogant fucks. So yes.
That's all. And realistically, he's played with Bryce Young when Bryce Young wasn't having the greatest season, right? His rookie year. And then he got traded to the Dallas Cowboys and they had Cooper Rush and whatever else they threw out on the field. So I do think it's a fair chance to let the guy try to play. He had very nice pre-draft measurables, was a second-round pick. But, again, it has to be one of those things that if he's not working out, don't give him a spot on the roster because you traded for him.
Yeah, Ringo Mingo.
Cut him. Yeah. I'd rather them be like, you know what, we fucked up. He's not the best player of the 5 guys that we have.
Pick is gone.
Pick is gone. It's gone. It's gone. So I'd rather them admit defeat. But I do want to see him get a fair chance with Dak Prescott as a quarterback.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And the thing is here's the reason why I think he's going to make the team too, is you still have 2 years of control over him. So I think what ends up happening is you use him as the buffer for when you lose Jalen Tolbert in free agency, which I'm not re-signing him unless it's like the ridiculously cheapest thing. But like, as we see with the Cowboys, you need to have like the Cedric Wilsons of the world, the Cole Beasleys of the world, like guys that are like 4s that make plays for you. And I think that if he can be that, like, I'm not asking this dude to be like Justin Jefferson. That would be awesome if he was Justin Jefferson. But again, you're gonna get the primary bulk of the snaps, and the targets are going to go to your 1 and 2, Lamb and Pickens. And that is why I love the trade for Pickens, because you look at how the NFL has evolved. Look at all the successful teams. You look at the Eagles. They have their 1-2 punch with Smith and Brown. You look at the Bengals. I understand that they have had their fair share of issues, but you get Chase and Higgins and Boyd. You have those guys out there. You look at what the Vikings have done. You have Jefferson, oh my God, Jordan Addison.
Yep.
You have those guys out there. So to get to young guys, and just for Cowboys fans that I haven't seen anybody hate the trade, but look at it from this perspective, right? If it doesn't work out, right, what happens? He probably goes into free agency. He gets a contract that's worthy of a 3rd-round pick, and you get it the year after.
Exactly.
However, you did open up a lot of cap space. So if you do decide to re-sign him, which you can't sign everybody, Micah, like don't let anybody bullshit you. They can make the money work. It's just a matter of how they structure it. Guess what? You have Lamb, Pickens as a duo for the next 4 or 5 years, and you just roll with that. And I think that that is what we want. We want to make sure that, you got something. You don't got to touch the receiver core for the rest of Dak Prescott's career, and you just go everywhere else. And that's where I think, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm on the boat where, like, I would be very disappointed if they do not make a move to try to re-sign Pickens in some way, shape, or form.
Especially earlier than later.
I mean, I think we chatted about it. My thought was, like, if he's having success, say, in the first third of the season, start the conversation. I know that we have Tyler Smith's contract coming up, but like you just mentioned, Space, just figure it out. Like, this isn't fucking rocket science. The 50 million dollar cap goes up 7% on average every year. There's your fucking sign. There's the money that you need for him.
Just use that 7%.
But the other thing too is not to like link, because we can look at who else they have on the list. Because again, there's a lot of dudes, but like it's not going to be a long conversation.
We got bubble 2 on the bubble.
But the one thing I did want to mention, because this is an important part of the conversation that I wanted to allude earlier, is team building, right? Like the fact is that you decided Dak Prescott is the franchise quarterback that we're rolling with for the next 4 seasons, regardless if he's hurt or not, barring something catastrophic. So I don't give a fuck how many times you restructure contracts. I don't give a damn what you do, because this is the window. People keep telling me, but Space, we got the cap, this cap, that I don't give a damn, because how is it that the Cowboys are the only team where they have to give a shit about the cap? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. This is the first time the Cowboys have started legitimately taking shots. So if they really want to go in, go get Pickens. I'd rather they just sign him now and just go from there. But that's just my opinion.
I think though, like from at least what you hear in the tabloids, George Pickens isn't looking for any type of extension. In the papers. He's not looking for an extension, right?
Test it.
So, I mean, ultimately, he starts balling out by like mid-season. It's either if he's doing well, he's like, "Fuck, I'm not signing an extension unless you're coming with that wide receiver 1 type of contract."
Which you can't blame the guy for betting on himself.
Yeah, you bet on yourself, and then if he's having a decent season,
I think they'll tag him.
Yeah, exactly. So can they tag him?
Yeah, of course they can.
Okay,
you're just gonna have to pay him at the top of the wide receiver. Like you're gonna have to pay him like a wide receiver 1 for that year, and that money's directly against the cap.
But you can use that too. You can tag a guy and then go into conversation.
Yeah, you can converse it. So now we got the bubble, 2 guys on the bubble: Jalen Brooks, Ryan Flanoy. I think
I'd love to see Flanoy out there.
See both those guys on the bubble for sure.
Yeah, Brooks has been around for a while. He's always had. It seems like every
this time of year,
this time of year,
and preseason,
he's getting a highlight and then he gets injured or
falls off.
Falls off.
It's like Jalen Brooks, and then it just kind of doesn't translate into season.
And Flanoy, same thing. Not the same thing. Sorry. With Flanoy, it's always been like, I just want to kind of see him out in the game. We just really haven't seen that.
Haven't seen him. But only carrying 5 receivers. I think the Cowboys carry 6.
Yeah. And then, the work to do, Cropper, Paris Campbell, who is still on the fucking team,
He's there.
Josh Kelly, Trayshawn Holden, and Kelvin Holden.
Holden's an interesting one.
I'm going to be straight up on. I don't give a fuck about any of these dudes. None of these dudes are going to make the team.
No, right.
Like, I think
you're right. There's too much depth.
Like, no offense to these dudes. I think that Jalen Cropper has the best shot at making the team. I've liked him, but I think they'll carry 6 receivers, and I think those are going to be the 5 safe ones, and it's probably going to be Ryan Flournoy.
Yep, I think that makes the most sense. For Cropper to do anything, he has to beat out these 2 guys.
There's too much depth on the team right now. Like, so let me say, just to put it in perspective, if Cole Beasley was in the bubble, guys, when the receiver room was this stacked, Cole Beasley wouldn't have made the fucking team his first year. Yeah. Right? Like the receiver room is just so stacked right now that it's going to be hard for any of these. I'm not going to say no-name guys, but undrafted free agent guys, and then like late round picks. There's just too much talent ahead of them. There's too much talent ahead of them.
I mean, I hope Flanoy makes it just because we met his parents at training camp last year.
I was thinking the opposite. I was like, I met them. I hope he kind of doesn't make the team. I'm just kidding.
Get this one.
Okay, so tight end safe. We got 3
2 on the bubble and 2 work to do. So Jake Ferguson is the clear tight end number 1. But a lot of questions exist behind him. Of all the position groups, this one has the most potential for bubble to grow or shrink early in Oxnard.
I mean,
Oxnard. That's how we say it here. Oxnard.
I think it's Fergie, Schoon, and fucking Brevin. Probably.
Yeah, big body Brevin.
That's safe.
Yeah.
I think that's safe.
those are the 3 that are safe. Let me see.
Yeah. Hey.
Yep.
Yeah. And they have, and I don't know if the order that they're writing it is Nick's Neckbeard's order. Like, I don't know if he has Jake as 1, BSF as 2, and Scooney as 3. But
it seems to be kind of
I feel
that
like
way.
it has to be that way.
Here,
Spanford's a fucking monster.
well, here's
like
some
6'7" or some shit.
and here's
Yeah, he
some
is 6'7".
interesting information about Spanford. Is his last name actually used to be Brevin spans the length of a Ford truck. It was just
Shorten it up.
because he is a thick boy, and I think that is where that Hunter Lepke conversation can kind of tie into this a little bit. Is like, what do the Cowboys want to do when they're going to bring that extra man onto the line to block? Is because Spanford is kind of that's his. When he's on the field, that's what he's doing basically. You're not really going to see him go and catch the ball. Luke Schoonmaker, more of that hybrid, probably going to block, but he can, shows that he catches the ball. And of course, Jake Ferguson's more that receiver. But I think that's the decision the Cowboys got to make. Like, are we going to just go heavy with Spanford on those downs, or are we going to keep Hunter Lepke and use him? And I do like the idea of a more versatile guy. I want Lepke on the team. But I also would love to see what Spanford can do.
Is BSF? Correct me if you got him. Is Brevin Spanford? Is he a good blocker? I don't even know. I know Scooney was kind of pulled in to be our blocking tight end, but what's Brevy's thing here? I'm looking. I was hoping
he's a blocking tight end. I don't think we've seen enough.
His big body.
He's not like okay, the best way I could put it is like people like to talk about like Jason Witten being the most complete tight end. He was an amazing blocking tight end and also receiving. But as for like Brevin Spanford, I'm not saying they're the same, but I think in terms of like the levels, I think he's doing just enough to be fine. Like I would be honest with y'all, I would prefer to upgrade the tight end room, but because that's what I wanted them to do this year. I wanted them to take Tyler Warren.
Oh, dude, we wanted fucking Tyler Warren too.
I mean, I'm a Penn State guy, but shit, like I would have loved that.
Lion.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think that you got to find tight end room. Like realistically, like Jake Ferguson and Schoonmaker is good enough because you got to remember you did add George Pickens to this offense. So
yeah, with tight ends, I want one tight end who can be a trustworthy target for the quarterback. It doesn't mean that he has to go out there and get 600, 700 yards. Like that's obviously great, but he just needs to be there for the third downs when we need him.
Exactly.
And otherwise, tight ends, I mean, figure out how to utilize them the best way possible. But yeah, George Pickens totally kind of changes a lot of the need for that.
And then they have
it could help Ferguson.
And then they have on the bubble here a guy that was having a pretty good training camp a couple years ago before he tore his knee, John Stevens Jr., and then same thing last year, tore his fucking knee again.
Yep.
So he has the talent, but
you can't trust him on the field.
Can't trust him on the field.
I was so high on that guy. Like I thought that he was exactly what the Cowboys needed, but it looks like Brevin Spanford kind of took that opportunity and ran.
Injuries derailed his career a little bit, and it's shitty because he was killing it. He had a couple good games, preseason game, had a very good training camp in 2023, and then bunged up his knee. But it's another guy. Will be interesting to see if he can bounce back from multiple injuries.
And then I don't even know where Valdo
Fairweather. I don't know who
work
the
to
fuck
do.
those
We're not
guys
just
are.
skip. Move past.
So
I was gonna say,
well, I'm sorry, Dalton.
Sorry, Fairweather, but you gone.
Like, fam, if I don't know who the fuck you are, and I look at the roster and I don't know who you are, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not even trying to like be like a know-it-all.
Yeah.
This is
just
we're not even talking about them.
They're there for practice, and hopefully get a practice squad contract.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay, offensive line safe. We got 7 on the bubble, 5, and work to do 3.
Let's just hop right in because, I think we know who the safe ones are.
This is pretty.
All the Tylers are safe.
All the T's.
Yeah, we got Tyler Smith, Cooper Beebe, Tyler Booker, Terrence Steele, Tyler Guyton, Brock.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then the two kind of
Awesome Richard, swing tackle.
And Brock Hoffman.
Yep. And Behoff. That's safe. I mean, is there? I mean,
nothing to say. I will just scroll down on the bubble because there's TJ Bass is in there.
He'll make the team,
and that's about it on the bubble for me. The only funny one is I bet you he still makes the team too. Is Matt Willetsko.
Wingspan Willetsko.
He's gotta have some shit on the team if he
does.
Makes the team again.
How's he still
pulling him off the team for like 3 seasons now? He's still on this bitch.
Him and his 30-foot wingspan. Yeah.
Oh yeah. His arms are too long, and when people start pressing on him, they pop out of socket.
Oh man, we don't know if we want to cut wingspan Willetsko because it'll be impossible to get him out of the building with that wingspan.
I think this one might be the most fun. Well, okay. We've had fun already. I'm not gonna.
We've had a blast.
We had a blast. But
we've had a blast here.
Defense
been such a good time.
Defensive ends. We got 5 safe, 2 on the bubble, and 2 with work to do. So a lot of guys.
Great depth, by the way.
Great depth too, and
we call them edgelords here, Space. So
yeah, it's a new moniker we've picked up.
But we should be able to name them. It should be Micah. It's gonna be Micah Parsons, Sam Williams, Fowler Jr.,
Easy
E, and who did I miss?
Probably Marshawn Nealon. Probably
Nealon.
Donovan.
That's the 5. That's the 5 right there.
We call Donovan Izaraku. We call him D-Easy.
Yeah,
that's the 5.
I call him D. I just call him DE. I ain't trying to pronounce it.
No.
That's the 5 right there.
Yeah, and that is it. And I'm super stoked with that. The only thing is,
it's a nice 5. That's a nice 5er right there.
Look at this group. Outside of Fowler and D-Easy, the other 3 have had an injury history. So we just got to knock on wood and pray that
you just can't have 2 of them go down.
Yeah, if one goes down, the other guys wait their turn.
Like defensive end last year was just demolished. Sam Williams gone day 2 of training camp. Nealon hurt recently after into the season. Defensive end had a banger of a season last year. But these 5 that are safe, that's a nice 5 set right there.
What's your guys' expectations for D-Easy this season?
I think if he had 5 sacks, I'd be pretty stoked.
Yeah, I think that he'll probably rotate on the line. I don't think he'll get 5. I think he'll get maybe between 2 and 4. So I'll just say 3 to make it a nice round number there.
Yeah.
But we got to remember, and just so kind of like how they've done it before. This is the 3rd year out of 4 years where they've taken an offensive lineman in round 1 and a defensive lineman, specifically an edge rusher, in round 2. So you had Sam Williams be the first one.
Mm-hmm.
You had Marshawn Nealon be the second one. And now you have your 3rd one in DE. So now the big thing that I'm looking for is Sam Williams has to be here. Marshawn Nealon should be taking steps forward. And I'm just wanting to see, because it takes like 2, sometimes 3 years. Because you kind of saw this with Chauncey Goldstein, was that when then again, they were playing him out of position, but I digress. My point is it took him a bit to get going. And that happens. Like DeMarcus Lawrence was a prime example of this too. It took him a couple years to get going. Then again, he did break his foot in his rookie season, but
and a second-round pick too.
Right, exactly. So I think for me, I think a successful season is just seeing that pass rush. Because if you look at this list, I think the Cowboys have a good enough pass rushing unit. I would say that the run defense might be a bit, the run defense on the edge might be a bit of a concern. But then again, I think the defensive tackle room is where I'm more concerned, if anything.
Definitely.
So.
I think the defensive tackle room should just be 1 safe and the rest on the bubble. The only guy that's safe in my mind is Osa. The rest are on the bubble in my mind.
Well, let's have a look.
They better
okay,
not have
so who's safe?
They better not have
Osa.
safe.
Osa, in my mind, is the only fucking guy that should be safe.
I'm betting they're gonna say
Toya?
Osa,
And Toya,
Mozzie, and probably a Toya. Like these, I'm trying to think who's.
That's what I know. That's what I mean. Like in my mind, the only fucking guy that should be safe on the defensive tackle in the defensive tackle room should be Osa. The rest of them should be replaceable if they don't step up.
No, they need to add a free agent. Well, I want to see the list.
Yeah, I just want to read out. There's 3 safe, 2 on the bubble, 2 with work to do, and that's what's kind of throwing us all for a loop. Is there's 3 safe?
It's gonna be Osa. I'm gonna say Mozzie, and then I think Jay.
Jay.
No, Solomon Thomas. I forgot him. Which I don't think he should be safe though.
I don't think Solomon Thomas is safe.
No, me either. Look at he didn't do fuck all anywhere else.
The only reason he's safe is he has a multi-year contract. Not that it's super expensive or anything, but I don't really like Solomon Thomas. To
Undersized.
be frank with y'all.
Undersized.
No, yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem if he makes the team. Like, I think that, but my problem is that if this is the room where you say you're safe,
that's bad.
You need to go attitude. You need to go attitude.
Yes, Mozzie Smith is considered safe. On what fucking planet should Mozzie Smith? If anything, he should be on the hot seat, man.
Well, maybe it's a like we need 3 guys, and so
high pedigree, right? First round draft pick has underperformed his last 2 years. If anything, that screams bubble to me.
I think it's the contract.
It's got to be, but
they still have him, so naturally he's safe, and they don't have anyone to replace him.
That's the issue. They don't have anyone to replace him.
It's not like Taco Charlton, because with like people like, I understand the same thing, but like the thing is that with Taco Charlton, you had a bunch of dudes in the edge room where you could let him go. Mozzie is safe by default, not only because of the contract, but because of the fact there's literally no one else there. Now, I will give Mozzie this. I do think that he was playing well towards the end of last year. And if I'm being, and I have gone on the record, and I still hold this position, I don't need Mozzie to be the fucking, like, I don't need him to be Aaron Donald. It's a warm welcome, but anybody that knows what he did in Michigan, me watching Big Ten football, I just need a dude that can clog up the middle and make sure that my edges can get the job done. Because that's what's been really killing the cow, and also stuff the run. That's all I want him to do, is just be a straight up 1 tech. Unfortunately, I don't know what the fuck Dan Quinn was trying to do with this dude. He was trying to like make him lose weight so that he could become like a 3 tech. And then it's like, well, you already have Osa as a 3 tech. Why the fuck? Like, what are we doing? So to me, I think that I like Mozzie to an extent, but not like as a full on starter. I think you need to add someone. You need to go make another trade.
Definitely.
EJ Savage says Solomon Thomas is going to make the team, in my opinion. I just want to say,
what's up, EJ?
EJ Savage in the house. What's up, EJ? And I agree, Solomon Thomas will make the team.
He will.
But
I think
it's
he will,
the 3 guys they named as safe. Just because he's going to make the team, I don't know if that means he should be safe.
With Solomon Thomas, I think what that pick is,
because he looks like Dak Prescott. He
looks like Dak. They're like, we could maybe fake him in quarterback and put Dak out wide or something, just trick people. But no, I think it's like he is our 3rd string, and we signed him for that reason. Yeah. So like, they're comfortable with that, whether you agree with it or not. On the bubble, Jay Toya and Perrion Winfrey. Never heard that name in my life.
No. He was in the UFL. So so that means he's going to be the best defensive tackle in football.
That's right.
If things,
if history repeats
on the real,
itself.
I do think that this guy has a chance to make the team. I had a chance to go look at what he did at the UFL. I think that, and just because I say that, it doesn't mean that the room's any good. But I think for Jay Toya, I think the only thing that he has going for him is the size that he has.
Big fat
really. Exactly. It's like Quentin Bohanna years ago, where like the only thing that really had going for him was being a big dude and nothing else. And
I'm
again,
okay
like
with.
If he can sit down in the middle of the field,
eat a
and
cheeseburger,
stop people more,
I'm okay
stop
with
runners
that.
more than Mozzie Smith.
If you can just not get blown off a block.
Yeah,
that's it. If you can just not get washed out of the play.
Yeah, get blown after the game.
Yeah, get blown after the game, not on the play.
Block.
Just don't get blown out and washed out of the play. That's all I'm asking.
And then
these guys, none of us even know these dudes.
Guys who probably
Tommy
are
is your 7th round pick, and then Denzel Daxon. I think he's the international player that he's from the Bahamas. He's the international player.
He might, he may have a chance to be that international.
Yeah. All right, linebacker.
4 safe, 3 on the bubble, 1 work to do, and 1 injury.
Ooh, Overshown.
I know who's on IR Pup.
So Overshown, Sanborn, probably no, because they include Micah as an edge. So Sanborn, Overshown, Murray, and Leofau, I think, are your safe ones probably.
Yeah. Well, Overshown's gonna be IPP. So
Murray,
Shamar
Leofau,
James,
Sanborn,
their
and
draft
Shamar James.
Their 5th round, was he the 5th round pick out of Florida?
He's the 5th round pick. I'm a bit shocked that he's safe, but wait.
And I think that's just a depth thing. No, you named the three. You just
Overshown
said Overshown
is
because he's on
Pup,
he's on
yeah.
pup list.
Okay, that's why. Okay, got it. So that makes sense. But I agree with the on the bubble list. I think
sorry.
what was it? Not to get too far ahead of ourselves.
Well, let's get it. Let's
No,
just
we
get
can-
far
we-
ahead of
yeah.
ourselves and say, "Hey, Damone Clark, you're cut.
Yeah.
Let's go there."
I think for me, Damone had great intangibles, but he regressed hard
Yeah.
last year. Like he did not look
He
good
was
at
awful.
all. And
He
I
was the
think
worst looking player on the defense last year.
easily. It was poor, and I think that it sucks because I wanted to see him do well, but then again, I think that the benefit is you get a guy that is a linebacker, a whisperer, basically, and Matt Eberflus, and who he's worked with, like Sean Lee, for example, and several other dudes. That's great, but I'm kind of shocked they have Shamar James as a safe, but I guess that makes kind of sense considering
You think his draft capital maybe kind of jumped him up a
probably.
bit?
Well, here's the thing. I do think had Overshow not been on the pup list, he probably is here and on the bubble.
Yeah.
Shamar James.
Yeah, Justin Barron jumps down to needs work, and then you have Shamar James on the bubble.
Yeah.
If Overshown's healthy.
Yeah, because what they mentioned there was Shamar James is he's more of a coverage linebacker, so that totally adds up. Cornerbacks here, 4 safe, 4 on the bubble.
Oh, man.
2 work to do and 2 injury pops.
So the 2 on the pup,
cornerback.
2 on the pup are
Two
going
of
to
the
be
two on the
Diggs
pup.
and Savon Revel. Those will be the pup guys.
Okay.
So who are the
But we can
safes?
say where we think they're obviously Diggs would be considered safe, I would assume, and probably Siobhan Revel because he's a rookie.
And third round pick.
He's a third round pick.
He's on the team.
Okay, so we got 4 safe.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was about
Oh,
to
they
go.
have Savon.
Oh,
they
they
have
have
Savon
Revel on
there.
the safe.
I don't
Okay.
think. I was gonna say I don't think they put Revel on the pup list.
Okay,
yet,
so
did he? No.
sorry, it's the dude
Let me
that
look.
started a couple games last year. Had it Butler. Was it Butler? Is that his last name?
We'll find. We'll scroll.
Oh,
down.
Josh Butler.
Josh Butler. Is that the other pup guy?
Well, hey, guess what? We'll find out once we scroll
Okay,
down.
let's talk about the safe.
Yeah, I mean, look.
I'm sorry, guys.
Elam,
You fucking idiot.
for me, Deron Bland, like
He's safe as safe can be.
he obviously safe. Elam is someone who I have really high hopes for, and I think I'm really hoping that he puts pressure on. Basically, here's my theory: I don't know that Diggs is going to be who we want him to be moving forward, and like he did get his contract, and good for him. But I think that we're moving on after this point. I'm not even sure that he hits the field at a relative time during the season, anyways. And so I have big hopes for Kyer Elam to
A lot of good news on Elam out of OTAs.
to just because we mentioned our run game and the inability to stop the run, and of course that can be that can just cause problems regardless of who you have on the field. But at least having a cornerback there to make it so like we know you're going to be running on these plays, on these certain plays, and that might help a little bit better, right? But we can't go into the season with an obvious weakness for the run game to exploit and then have only one cornerback who can actually, you could say comfortably is going to be able to be competing against NFL wide receivers.
I mean, and the thing is Elam struggled, if I remember, because I think let me see if I can remember. I want to say this was last year's title game when he struggled to really cover those Chiefs defenders that he was defending, and I think I'm trying to remember the two because he wasn't like a starter for them.
No, he
was
hasn't
just a
played
backup.
well. He hasn't played well.
And I think like I don't mind Elam being like a backup or like a depth piece, but if I mean I didn't like the trade for Kyer Elam at all. Like I never liked him coming out of Florida. As for Israel Mukwamo, I've always liked him. I thought he was great as a corner in terms of what you're asking for. Siobhan Revel, I'll say this because I said this on a phone call. If Trevon Diggs has issues with injuries again, and they really want to move off that contract, they can. And I think you pay Deron Bland and you roll with Revel moving forward.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm not asking for that. It's just unfortunately when you look at the history of the Diggs brothers, especially
Got weak
Stephon being the
knees?
older one, they start breaking down, and they sometimes have those issues off the field. Now, I think that
Have
Trevon
sex
has
with
a bit of a better
rappers.
temper. Exactly, have like 50 kids, but that's besides the point. Yeah, I'm like trying to go for the Philip Rivers record, but I just think that the fact of the matter is that I think that Diggs is on notice this year, and I think that it's kind of a shame that you're not really doing well. Again, I have no problem with Elam. I just think that to trade for him was a bit out of the blue, and I think that it's not. I'm not.
We can all agree that cornerback's one of our concerns. As fans, cornerbacks got to be a positional group that we're not set on, and hopefully they make some ads after training camp. Teams that are maybe cutting guys that they, some of numbers don't add up, and the Cowboys can get a guy. Because I'm not sold right now on the cornerback room.
And with Elam, what I think they did is
I don't hate the Elam thing.
No, they saw the youth. They saw that he had some moments with the Bills, and were like, I think we can take this guy and make him work. And quite frankly, trade value aside, sure, let's just see who else can come in here. Because no offense, I love AO.
Nobody loved AO.
No, but he had a great moment, followed up by the worst moment. He had his best moment of the season, followed up right by his
wins a game, loses a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking, oh my god, dog. Like that really irked the shit out of me, but that's besides the point. Kalen Carson.
Yeah, so on the bubble, Kalen Carson, Kevin Hall, Robert Rochelle, and Andrew
Booth
Wilkes.
Jr. on the fucking bubble.
Yeah,
Get
he's
that man
gone.
off my fucking team.
Get Andrew Wilkes Booth off.
Andrew
there.
Wilkes Booth. But tell me, Cowboy, about about Kalen Carson. Like, where's he fitting in on this team? Is he got a chance or what?
Yeah, I mean, look, Kalen, I think that what sucked for him was he got hurt, and I think he played while he was hurt. I loved him coming. I think he was out of Wake Forest, right? Let me just double check.
Yeah, he was out of Wake Forest.
Coming out of Wake Forest. I mean, he had a really good start, like that being like one game, but like I like what he has, and I think that what really sucked was that if I remember, and I'm reading it right here, yes. So basically, he had the shoulder thing, and I think that bothered him. So I personally think that Kalen has a chance to really make the team and make the most out of it. My only problem is that I just don't want the injury to have derailed his progress. But I think that, I mean, if it were up to me, I think that Carson's safe. But I think that they might look at it differently. But I think that
Carson's safe, and like you said, he was drafted to back up Bland and Diggs, and then Bland got hurt and he got thrusted into the starting role. And it's not fair to expect your 5th round cornerback to start week 1 and have success the whole season, right?
That's wild.
So it's pretty wild.
But you know what?
I think they need to give him another shot here.
And it's not like an Anthony Brown situation where it's like, like you'll have a dude, like for example, like when we had Deron Bland, like everyone's like, holy shit, look at what this guy can do. You don't get that every often. Like, and I think people got to understand that when you're drafting on day 3, you're hoping these dudes can turn out to something, but 9 times out of 10, they don't. So for me, when you go and draft a 5th, 6th, 7th round guy, like I'm using Anthony Brown as an example, you get a solid starting corner. Now I understand what he did in Dallas and the whole bullshit that he went through. My main thing is that that's a good piece to have. But again, when we talk about these players as we go down the safe to on the bubble, we're asking these dudes to be solid depth pieces. We're not asking these dudes to be all pros. It would be great, but we're not asking them to do that. And I think you look at Kalen Carson, he'll be on the roster. Keemon Hall, and I don't think Andrew Booth sit unless he it's just a veteran piece. But yeah, you have a lot. I think they'll just carry 6 or 7. No, I don't even think they'll carry 7. They might carry a 6.
I like the Anthony Brown mention because that guy, everyone gave him shit, but that guy overexceeded as a 6th round pick for years, right? Sure, he gave up a lot of penalties and maybe gave up some big passes, but for a 6th round pick, for that guy to start as many games as he did in the NFL, if you can get that out of a 6th round pick, you got a gem. Like you said, it's not you can't expect these later day picks, these 3rd day picks to be starters, and if you get a starter out of one of them, that's a win.
Yeah, and again, a solid starter at that. Like we're about to go into the safety room. Like Donovan Wilson was a 6th round pick.
Exactly.
Now, so early on he did struggle, but and again, I've always felt like with Donovan Wilson, I've liked what he's done in Dallas. I've always felt like you can always upgrade from him, and I thought that he would be a cap casualty this year. But if they're going to keep him, that's fine. But again, like getting these types of players, and I understand the conversation changes once you pay them, and they've been in the league for a while. And again, these like just because I'm mentioning names like Kalen Carson, Donovan Wilson, Anthony Brown, these are guys that you can upgrade from and push the depth down. Like a great example is your wide receiver room, right? You go out and you get George Pickens, you push the depth down. So rather than having a dude like Jalen Tolbert, who I think is more of a wide receiver 3 and 4, you were originally going to have him as your 2. Now he's down to that spot where I think he's more comfortable at, and where I think he would be more comfortable at the NFL level.
Or like a guy like Jalen Brooks or Flanoy are going to make the team for sure. They're now on the bubble, right?
Exactly, and that's how teams should be built. So
I think all the guys who you have questions about should be on the bubble, right?
Totally.
And then the safe, like you want a team where you're like, yep, this all makes sense. And we'll see what the safeties look like here.
Well, safeties has got to be Wanye Thomas, Hooker, and
Dono Dub.
Dono Dub.
Right? So there's 3 safe, 2 on the bubble, 2 work to do. Let's go look what they have for safe.
Marquez Bell, I'm imagining's on the bubble. Or sorry, on the bubble.
Oh, look at this.
Malik
Oh,
Hooker.
wow.
Well, I would hope he's safe. They just gave him a 3-year contract this year, so I would be kind of like, "What the fuck? They're gonna cut him?"
No, but Bell ahead of Donovan Wilson is interesting to me.
I'm not really surprised because I've always felt that with Donovan, like I've always felt that Marquise Bell can be a Donovan Wilson replacement, mainly because of the cap casualty stuff.
Right.
Like so. I'm not shocked by that in the slightest, but I think that they'll carry 4 safeties, and I think it will be Malik, Wanye, Marquise, and Donovan. Because you look at the rest of the list, I think I'm looking at we're gonna see it here.
Yeah.
A lot of these dudes, I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
Who are you?
One thing. One thing on Marquise Bell is this. I don't know if this is faded out and they decided not to, but there were some talks earlier on about him perhaps playing in the nickel position a little bit as well. So if he has that versatility, that's warrant of the safe.
Yeah, if you could moonlight as a nickel cornerback,
come in,
that's huge.
And play that position a little bit. Dono Dub, man, I love Dono Dub, and he had a great 2022, 2023 season where he's coming downfield more, making a lot of TFLs, playing like a run stopper position.
Which you need that hitter, and he can bring the boom. He didn't have the greatest year last year.
He's had two rough years.
I find it surprising that he's on the bubble over Bell, but I think it comes down to cap casualty.
Was it Dono Dub that and was it last year that Micah was saying everyone's trying to be Superman? Like Dono Dub was like over committing on some of his.
He's a guy like, and this is kind of why I get annoyed with Dono is that there are times where he's going for a big hit rather than just making the play.
Right.
And that's been the story of his whole career. But again, given with what you have in the room, I do think that the safety room is solid. I think you can upgrade from there. And I think that for Donovan Wilson, if you're going to cut him, and they say right there, I found the number, like you're going to save $7 million on your cap but the thing is he's entering a contract year, so you're going to get that money back anyway. I don't know. I just think that the safety room is pretty cut and dry. I think the surprise for me is like, you think they would just carry 3 safeties? Like that's kind of like I wouldn't see that. That'd be a bit peculiar to me.
Yeah, no. One of these guys on the bubble. I mean, Elijah Clark. Never even fucking read that name in my life before. So
you know what? It might be Dono Dub because we have his jersey in CanFan Studio. So the fact that we have his jersey means that he's gone.
Yeah,
he's gone. He's gone.
Hey, and if Elijah Clark goes out there and dominates,
I'm getting his jersey.
And dominates, as you will.
Is it going to be a knockoff jersey?
Well,
Probably.
Hey, let's give a shout out to. Go ahead. Sorry, Space.
I was going to say he is a New Jersey native in my area, so I hope that he went to Rutgers, and I think he went to Syracuse. Yeah, he went to Syracuse, so I hope he does well. So
excellent. Well, shout out to
Elijah Clark's a beast. He's a rookie, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, Elijah Clark, he was a beast in CFB last year.
And I just want to give a shout out then to Neckbeard Nick, doing his thing, writing articles, probably in his underwear. That's how I am.
You would hope if he's not writing them in his underwear, what the fuck are you doing?
But okay, guys, last
quick
segment. Well, it's gonna be quick as we can. I got 6 players here, Adam, bring it up. Bring it up.
Well,
I worked hard on this document. We can't not.
Yeah, you should. Are you gonna full screen it so we don't see your little crack 'em if you got them?
Can I full screen it?
You can see the stuff below, so that's what I was just.
Oh,
wondering.
okay. Okay. I didn't know if it because it goes full screen.
Yeah,
and you're not.
I'll adjust it. This is some behind baseball.
Adjusting on the fly.
For Space Cowboy.
Oh,
And we just crashed Alex's Computron. You can see us working in the Millennium Falcon right here. Okay, go ahead and explain what you got here, Wage.
Well, I don't. It's not doing what you want it to do.
That's okay. That's okay.
I'm going back to my original time. Pull the feed.
Okay.
Cut my feed.
Okay.
All right. I have a segment here. Well, we talked about it. There we go. Okay. Puffin and pass or passing.
Okay.
Like puffing that weed or you passing that weed? You know, it's kind of on brand. It's brandish.
Okay.
But we're doing over-under predictions here. I'm going to bring up six.
Sipping or tipping?
Sipping or tip. Okay. Fuck you. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Puffing or passing. We're puffing or passing.
Keep the comment to yourself. We're puffing or passing.
Sipping or tipping?
Bring it up, Ad.
Okay. I got it.
I didn't make this the cover photo for no reason here.
Okay, there you go.
There we go. Let me just
Get it in, yes, son.
Get it in, yeah. Got 6 Dallas Cowboys here. We're gonna look at 3 stats each and give a quick over/under prediction of what they're gonna get. These stats are based off of what we're seeing through like the betting, the fantasy football, etc. So
okay, let's do it. Let's jump in.
All right, first one here.
Let's go.
Oh, hang on. Trust
Okay.
me. It'll
Nice.
load.
Okay, there we go.
It'll load. It's Adam's
It's all-
internet.
Oh, fuck you.
Well, yeah, no, yeah.
No, yeah.
No.
All right, so Micah Parsons, we have 13.5 sacks.
This is the over/under.
Over/under,
for sacks. Okay.
over/under, 13.5 sacks, 62.5 tackles, and 2.5 forced fumbles. If you don't know, you don't have to say I'm one. I think the sacks is the biggest number. But who do we start with first? Adam, I'm throwing to you.
Click your little down arrow there, and then it covers your little slides to the far right. And then we can see that bottom thing down to the bottom right. Yeah, right there. Oh no, okay, fuck. Do you have something at the bottom here? Like, are we
Just answer the goddamn question that I asked you.
I can't. I wasn't listening.
Okay.
I'll fucking start.
Thank
Jesus
you,
Christ. You're looking at 3 numbers here. Is it over and under? Sacks over. Tackles over. Forced fumbles over. It's easy. It's he's done that every single year except last year, and the only reason he didn't do it last year was because he was injured for a few games.
Yeah.
So I'm doing the over on all 3.
Forced fumbles is the only one for me that he may only get 2, but the tackles and the sacks, I expect him to get over those numbers. Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to say over on sacks and tackles, and I think the forced fumbles is probably the most concerning one in terms of it. But you know what? It's Micah's year. I think we're going over. I'm going over all 3.
Yep.
Space Cowboy, bring us back down to reality here.
So we'll start with sacks. I'm going to hit the over on that. Here's why. If you look at last year, Micah Parsons played 11 games. He had 12 sacks in 11 games.
Yeah. He was on a fucking... He was having a moment last year.
And it's the fact of the matter is that he's had 13 or more sacks every single year except for that last year. I think he'll probably be somewhere in the 15 plus range. As for tackles, he's going to be a full-time edge, so I'm not expecting a lot of tackles. I'm going to take the under on that. If we're talking about over the past, there's only 1 year where he's had over 65 tackles in a season, and that was his first year when he played a little bit of linebacker. However, he did have like around 65, 64 in the other 2 years. So I'm going to take the under on the tackles. As for forced fumbles, I'm going to take the under on that as well. I'm not expecting him to force a whole lot of fumbles. That'd be great, but he hasn't had more than 3 outside of his well, he's only had 3 in his first 2 seasons. So I'm not expecting
Space, I gotta argue with you here a little bit. I got to argue with you here.
Okay,
just on the tackles. 3 of his 4 seasons, he's hit over 62 tackles. The only year he didn't was last year when he didn't play. He only played 11 games.
Right, and I hear you on that. So that's kind of where, like, I'm kind of like with tackles. I'm assuming we're talking about combined.
Yeah, it's combined.
So,
yeah, it is.
Yeah, okay, got it. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, because with tackles, I could give less of a shit.
Totally.
about
Yeah,
tackles, just to be
totally.
honest with you.
I know it's
But-
not. It's a
But I can understand the over. But here's my thing. If I'm thinking, all right, I'll take the over on that actually, because I think that if he's going to get at least 15 sacks, and if I'm thinking how tackles are going to be tallied, I would say over on that.
Tackles.
then-
We're talking about tackles.
And I think we
We're
can all
talking about-
agree if Micah has 15 or more sacks,
I don't care if he
we
has
don't-
15 tackles.
I don't care if he has fucking 2 tackles. Or yeah, 15. If he has 15 tackles and 15 sacks, I'm cool with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
So
I said over on
So
all
over
three.
for me, over on sacks and tackles, but under on the force.
Yeah, I think the under on the forced fumble is a safe bet. It is tricky, but with 15 sacks, you do have an increased rate of a forced fumble, right?
For sure.
I guarantee all his forced fumbles are against quarterbacks.
I saw that.
I just
shirt,
think,
I saw
like-
that shirtless photo of him today, talking about it's coming up to the Lions.
Made your
season.
wiener do some things, hey?
Yeah, like I made my wiener go from 6 to midnight.
And I thought only I could do that, but
No, I know you can't. Not now when Micah's with shirt off. So
Okay, next player. We got
come on, load for me.
Dak Prescott up
Dak.
here. Okay.
Dak me up, Prescott.
Okay, and we're gonna lead out with Space Cowboy here. Space
well,
Cowboy.
let me read
Okay.
this out. Sorry, Ann.
Well, that's what I was gonna do.
Oh,
Just to move things
do
along.
Do it.
Dak Prescott, passing yards 4,300.5, passing TDs 32.5, interceptions 14.5. What do you got, Space?
Holy shit. 14 and a half interceptions. Okay, I'll take that last. Hold on. So starting things off with the passing yards, I'm going to take the over on that. If we look at the last times that Dak has been healthy, he has thrown over nearly 4,500 yards. And I'm going to take the over on the passing touchdowns because he's thrown 36 plus touchdowns a season when he's fully healthy. And if we kind of go off of the pattern, usually in odd years like 2019, 2021, and 2023, he's thrown 30 plus touchdowns and a shitload of yards. Interceptions, I'm taking the under on that. I think he'll throw maybe between like 8 to 12. But again, like that's holy shit. That is really because like if we look at the years where Dak Prescott's thrown 30 plus touchdowns, he's thrown 11 in 2019, 10 in 2021, and 9 in 2023. The outliers are in 2017 and 2022 when he threw 13 and 15 interceptions respectively. So I don't know who the fuck is making the betting odds on the 14 and a half, but like if it was like 12, that would be a different story. But I'm slamming the under on that.
Space, I hate to break it to you. I did those averages. No, hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear
That's
me out.
fucking crazy.
I know.
Idiot! Moron!
And
Sorry, I was
after
just coughing
hearing
over here.
after hearing you talk, I see where I made the mistake. I took at the average of games from the last 3 seasons, and I also looked at what the betting odds were, and I kind of shifted it. But yeah, that totally makes sense. He comparatively had a bad season last year for games.
I see what you did. You took interceptions.
So
on
I think
average
12
to games. I see.
We'll stick with this, but I think 12.5 is the more reasonable number, honestly.
Which I would still slam the under on that. I think he's not
me
going to
too.
throw more than 12.
Right.
So
I think we're easily all under 14.5.
Oh, easily. If that was an actual bet, if that was an actual betting odd of under 14 and a half interceptions, I think whatever money you could afford to bet, you bet.
Jump cut to that first game of
I'd
the
say
Eagles and
slam
he throws
that
5.
bitch. I just fucking slam that under. Like, there's no way. Like, no way.
Space, I know.
The other 2 odds are good though, AJ. The other 2 odds
that
are
I
good.
like. Those are good. I like those.
I'm not comparing myself to you as a anal thesis analysis, but
Crack him if you got him.
I think I got my number. Crack him if you got him. I think I got my number blinders on when I was doing that, and I was just looking at the data and not.
That's fine.
You know,
I
happens.
mean,
but hey,
but hey, look, I'll give you props. I think the passing yards and the passing touchdowns are impeccable.
okay.
Like,
Those are tough ones. Those are tough ones. Those
So
can go either way.
I'm over on both of those and then under on interceptions. I feel like
So you're OOU.
yeah, OOU.
So sorry, Space, you're on the passing yards and the touchdowns, under on the
Over.
interceptions. Yeah,
correct. Yeah.
Adam, you are same.
Yeah. Or as EJ likes to say it, puff, puff, pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, good call.
Oh, good call, good call.
Yeah. Puff, pass.
I think we're all puff pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
Ooh, Ant's getting a little horny
No,
over
I'm
there.
with you guys.
Okay.
If he stays healthy and plays 16, even 15 games, I think he has.
This is the assumption.
Right.
We're assuming
We gotta,
yeah.
and you gotta remember, this is gonna be a year where arguably we're going into, like, so he's gonna have in my opinion, he'll probably have a more healthy offensive line.
Totally.
Meaning he'll stay upright. The other thing is he shouldn't be running for his fucking life because he didn't get hurt last year because he was running. That's a common misconception. He tore the hamstring off his bone because he was overexerting himself throwing the football too fucking much.
Yeah.
So mainly because he was trying to make plays. So I think when you have a guy like Pickens, Lamb, and Ferg like as your main 3 targets, he's gonna get over on that passing yards, assuming he stays healthy and the passing.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they take him out of the fucking games, like we're destroying teams. But
Well, and that's the funny thing. Like the 2023 stats of his are skewed a little bit because they did take him out of so many games. So like I think the 4,300 yards, if he plays 16 or 17 games, it's a guaranteed. So okay, on to the next one. George Pickens, newly acquired George Pickens.
George Pick my nose Pickens.
AJ, you read this one.
Receiving yards over or under 10,000 and
10,000?
Sorry.
Over.
1,050.5 touchdowns, 8.5 receptions, 64.5.
Okay.
I'm going puff, puff, puff.
Puff, puff, puff. Adam's puffing on it all.
You loving it.
If my boy Dak Prescott's gonna go for over 4,300 yards, GP3 is gonna fucking hit above all those numbers. I mean, the receiving touchdowns, I'm saying 9. So that's the over.
That's over.
Yeah, sure. Hey, it's
exactly.
over.
Which 9 is gonna be like
that'd be huge.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna agree with you because just a little behind baseball. I came up with the receptions based off of the yards, so you got to kind of like take those tit for tat.
But you could go puff, pass, puff.
No, but I do think that he's going to get 9 touchdowns. Yeah. Agree with you. I'd love to see 12, but I'm greedy. I'm greedy.
And Boots gave a nice $4.99 super chat.
Bootsy.
Super Bowl, Cowboys camp
Yes,
fan. Like, share,
sir.
subscribe.
Let's go.
There we go.
Sorry.
Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Super Bowl. Space, what do you got for this? Your puff pass prediction for these 3 stats.
So I'll take. Shit, this is gonna be tough.
Just jump on the hopium train with us here, dog. Get puff, puff, puff.
We got a fresh bowl. We got a fresh bowl for you.
We got a fresh bowl.
I'll take the puff on the receiving yards because he has had over. That's something he's done. He's never had more than 5 receiving touchdowns in a season, but I do think that will change this year because he's not going to be the number 1. He'll be the number 2. So I'll take the over on that. And then for the receptions, the most he's had in a season is 63. But then again, he's going to be playing with the best quarterback he's played with. And
Puff, baby.
I'll take all of them.
Just like his number, you're taking 3 puffs, baby.
3 puffs.
That gets me
Whether or
excited.
not he stays as number 3.
And don't fuck this up.
I'm fucking it up. I am fucking it up.
Uh,
Receiving yards, I'm gonna puff on that shit. I'm going pass on the TDs.
Yeah. How many think he's gonna get? 7?
All of us think that Pickens is gonna increase his touchdowns because of having CeeDee Lamb. I think it's gonna be the opposite. I think CeeDee Lamb we're gonna really truly see, or like a Jake Ferguson, you're gonna see those guys maybe get touchdowns. I think Pickens falls somewhere. In my brain, I'm thinking 8. Like I think he's 8, and that I would be ecstatic if he gets 8 touchdowns. But I'm gonna go pass. I'm gonna go puff, pass, puff. Yeah, I think he's gonna have more than 64 receptions. I would love if George Pickens has more than 8.5 touchdowns. I'll be so jacked up, man. And I hope he does. I really do.
I just think that
I think he's fringe 8.5.
I just think that you're still going to get CeeDee Lamb's going to get like they're going to try to still put as much trouble on CeeDee Lamb as possible. I feel like George Pickens is going to eat a bit more than CeeDee this year for tutties.
So let's just be
not more over top of CeeDee Lamb, but I just feel like that the touchdown ratio going up, we're going to probably see more from GP3.
So I'm going to ask each of you guys a question here. I'm going to start with Ad.
Yeah.
How many touchdowns do you think Dak Prescott is going to throw this year?
Well,
and this number is going to be based off you. How many touchdowns do you think Dak Prescott's going to throw?
38.
38. Okay. AJ, how many receiving touchdowns is CeeDee Lamb going to have?
For 13.
13. Okay. So 13. Space, how many receiving touchdowns is George Pickens going to have? It's got to be over 8.5.
I'm gonna say
9.
9.
Okay,
9.
so that puts 24 touchdowns. Dak Prescott's thrown between those 2 guys. Now you still have Jake Ferguson, Jadon Blue. Then you have Jalen Tolbert.
5,
Scooney.
5, 5.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just thinking when
Yeah.
I think about touchdowns, if he's gonna have 9, CeeDee Lamb is gonna have, that's how I think.
Oh,
about
you're
it.
saying if he's
I
having
think
9,
CeeDee
CeeDee Lamb's getting 15.
No, if he has 9, I think CeeDee Lamb's gonna have 9
Oh, okay. Oh, you're talking
because you
about
can
going
only
down.
spread the ball around so much.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't think
So
CeeDee
for me, I think CD could have 13, and that's where I put George Pickens somewhere under 8.
I think CeeDee Lamb is the bigger threat than GP3. So I feel like teams are going to still teams are still going to try.
Oh my god!
And lock down him first. And
Imagine
foremost.
CeeDee Lamb with 13 touchdowns and George Pickens with 9. I will fucking come all over this room.
Hey-o.
Okay, who do we got next? On that note, who do we got next?
We got Deron Bland.
Second defensive player. We had Micah. Sorry.
Yeah, 6.5 interceptions, 11.5 passes defended. That's a hard one to know. And 68.5 tackles.
Ooh.
Basically, the interceptions we're looking at here.
What about return for touchdowns?
Well, I got to
1.5
I
or
got to go talk
2.5?
to Grok about that, and I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
No, but sure. You can add that spice. I'm going to go off and say I think he gets under those interceptions. I think he over defended and over tackles because he's basically going to be out there, as long as he's playing all 17 games. So the interceptions is a little bit inflated because of that
season that he had in
season that he had
2020,
nine
2023
interceptions or something, whatever it was. So, but hey, if he comes away with 6 or 5 interceptions, even though that's under, that's awesome. Really good.
So you said under? Space, what do you got?
I might be the pessimist here. I'm taking under on all of them.
Okay.
I'm gonna piggyback off I'm going under on all. And my reason, it's not even pessimistic. I just think when teams are game planning against the Dallas Cowboys, I'm throwing at the other option instead of Deron Bland.
Sure.
We already looked at the cornerback depth. Like, if I have a choice between throwing at Deron Bland or Elam, or Deron Bland and Trevon Revel, or Deron Bland and Kalen Carson, I'm throwing at the other guy, right? So I think by default, these numbers are going to get dropped, right? I mean, 6.5 interceptions is quite a bit, but I'm going to go the under on all 3.
I'm already feeling
Or
it.
the pass on all 3.
Yeah, I'm already feeling it, so I'm passing on these 3 too.
Are you?
Yeah, I was
Try pass.
I should have said it before you guys.
But my passes aren't because it's a bad thing. I think it's because he's going to be the best
They're
quarterback.
not throwing to him.
He's going to be the best
It's
quarterback.
like a corner is a position where it's like you can easily take that player out of the game. You just don't fucking throw that area.
And it's by default that the Cowboys right now don't have another reliable cornerback, or at least an established cornerback.
I take it a little personal, but I agree. Okay.
I wasn't meant to be personal. The only thing that should have been personal is your 14.5 Dak Prescott interceptions, you dumb shit.
Hey, it's the numbers. I'm a numbers guy.
Grok told me to.
I asked Grok. Said it. Sedarius Lamb. Adam hit me.
Okay, so I'm going to go
wow.
pass on the receiving yards.
No. Read them.
Oh,
Read them.
Set it up.
Read the
Why not?
numbers.
People
Set
can
it up.
fucking read. Okay, Sedarius Lamb, right now we have receiving yards 1,600.
0.5.
Receiving tutties 11.5. Receptions 127.5.
So this is a tough one, actually.
These are a little.
This
I
is
made
a
them a
tough
little
one.
higher because I wanted to see what we think.
I'm going pass, puff, pass.
Okay.
I think that's fair. I think that's quite fair. Space,
And by,
do you have-
and by that, I mean, like, he's going to be 1450 for yards.
Right.
Which I'd be fucking stoked about.
Right. I mean, if I'm being honest, like CeeDee Lamb's only had the 1 year where he had over 50, not even 1,700, like 1,400 receiving yards.
Yeah.
That was the 1 year in 2023, and he had 135 receptions to do that. Which that's not a bad thing because hey, you know what? Because now you have a dude that's a dog right beside him. You guys are gonna eat. But I'm gonna say under on the receiving yards. I'll take the over on the receiving touchdowns. I think he'll get like 12 or 13, and then for the receptions, I'm gonna take the under because I think he'll get between 100 to 110. Really, the main reason why he had the 135 in 2023 is because they were like literally he was the only option.
Just throw it at him. Just throw it at him.
like
yeah, no option. AJ, what do you got?
No, look, it makes sense. This is my hopeful thing. I want to go for him to get those reception yards. He needs those the yards. He needs the receptions. I'm just gonna go fuck it all over.
Yes, baby.
I just, you know, it might not be something that I actually think is gonna happen, but if George Pickens plays the role of taking targets away from CeeDee Lamb, that's when he'll achieve this.
The best part about this is July. We're Cowboys fans. This is the best part of doing this.
Yeah.
I fucking love this. But I'm gonna, and I again, if he hits the over on all these, I'll be jacked the F up. But I'm gonna go pass, puff, pass.
Yeah.
I believe he can have over 11.5 touchdowns, but with the with the adding of George Pickens, and then I think you're gonna get a lot of guys out of the bat. Like Jaden Blue could have 70 receptions if everything goes right?
Sure.
Jake Ferguson's going to be better than he was last year, so that the receptions are going to go away from CeeDee Lamb. I think maybe that's why his receptions are a bit lower, and by that default, his receiving yards will be a bit lower. If he has over 11.5 touchdowns, do we care? If he has 1,100 yards or 1,500 yards, probably not.
No. If we change these before we get to our last guy, if we change these to 1,400 yards and 109 receptions, would you go?
I'm puffing.
I'm puffing
on all
I'm
three.
Trey puffing, baby.
Yeah, I'm probably Trey puffing.
I would probably puff that, yeah. Because it would correlate
Yeah,
with
you
the,
would.
I would trade
Someone's
that.
gonna pass if we're all puffing. I'm just okay. And finally
So
here,
you're telling me you have 4 joints? If we're all puffy.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Final guy here, Jadon Blue. These are all purpose yards.
Okay.
525.5 yards, 3.5 touchdowns, and 102.5 touches.
Okay, I'm gonna lead out. I might have rose-colored glasses for Jadon Blue, but I think I'm puffing on all 3 of these.
It's all purpose.
Yeah,
too.
that's what I mean. The all purpose is what really. There's just such an open. There's such an open spot for him to have this happen. He's gonna have, say, he has on a low par 30 receptions. All he needs is 70 touches to get the total touches.
Over 17 games. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 100% puff on the total touches. The all purpose is one I could see might be tough because he's not gonna get goal line carries, but the all purpose yards should be there too. So I'm gonna still say puff on all 3.
Yep.
But the touchdowns could be a pass. But I'm try puffing.
Adam,
going to Space Cat. Let's go to Space Cowboy on this one.
Okay, so I think it's gonna be on the all-purpose yards. I'm trying to use like how the Cowboys kind of went last year. I think that in terms of the numbers of who got the ball and stuff like that, I'm gonna take the over on the all-purpose yards.
Okay.
I'll actually take I'll take the over on the all-purpose touchdowns.
Okay.
And then if I'm thinking how he's going to be used, I'll even take the over on the total touches because if we really think about it, right? Like, for example, last year Zeke had 74 rush attempts.
What?
And
that's crazy if you think of that.
He had 74 rush attempts and he had 12 receptions last year, right? And if you do the math, that's 86. He had 86 total touches last year. And he was extremely and he had 3 touchdowns last year. So
about 85 too many.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that he should have been a fullback, but that's just me. But yet a better one on the roster. But I digress.
Yeah.
So to me, I think that if we're putting it into the all-purpose category, yeah, I mean, I could see that. Zeke had 226 rushing yards last year, and he had, I think, he had 69 receiving yards last year. So I think it's definitely possible because, not to go on about it, but I think the other thing too is the Cowboys kind of wanted to do a running back by committee. Like they've kind of been big on that. And I wouldn't be shocked because Blue has home run ability.
Mhm.
And I wouldn't be shocked if they used him in screen passes, used him out wide, put him in positions where he's running, like, on those pull blocks and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm going to take the over on all that.
I like it.
I'm pretty. I mean, with all this puffing, I'm pretty.
Are you
lifted?
stoned?
I'm pretty
Are you
wasted.
Are you lifted?
right
You're
now.
flying right now.
No, I agree.
Are you going to space, cowboy?
I'm not going all the way, May. I'm going puff, pass.
Really?
Oh,
So I think he'll have less touches, but I do think he's going to eclipse all-purpose yards and all-purpose touchdowns.
Which if he hits puff on both of those without 102 touches, you struck gold with this guy.
Yeah.
That is amazing. If we're saying like, you had 525 plus yards, more than, we'll just say 4 touchdowns, and less than 100 carries. Holy shit,
Yeah,
that's
you're hitting home
got
runs.
to
Yeah.
be some impeccable efficiency. Like, oh
That'd
goddamn.
be but the home run ability that we think he has, that would be the reason he did it.
Or it could be the fact that they don't start utilizing him for the first half. He doesn't get utilized as much.
I see
So
what you're saying.
that's where I see the touches start to kind of shrinkage.
I'm
Okay.
gonna go with my boy BW1 on this one.
Really?
Yeah, because
Interesting.
I think like he probably is gonna break for a 1 or 2, I don't know, 40 plus 70 yard gain, and then that's gonna skewer everything. But good point with like he may have a slower start for what maybe if Miles Sanders does make it to the season, that he starts a couple game or eats up some of what Jadon Blue would be doing, but. Yeah, I'm going with you on that one, bro.
Love it.
The
Bro.
BWs
And we
had to stick
we
together.
got to remember that Rico Dowdle had a slow start to his campaign
Exactly.
before he
Oh,
rushed
yeah.
over 1,000 yards. So, and he only had 2 rushing touchdowns, but he had 3.
So
I think he had,
fucking
was
sad.
it? Yeah, like
So sad,
but
right?
yeah, but also he's a Texas guy. You gotta think like, hey, he's a Texas dude that you want to wearing that 34. I mean, I as much as I don't like wearing the number 30s on running backs,
Yeah.
I do think Blue has a chance to make 34 look really nice. So
Hell yeah.
So
Hey, prove me wrong, Blue.
Yeah, it's a number I never wanted that I now want. Right?
I'm saying this right now. I'm buying a blue jersey. When we do our rookie buys,
Yeah.
I'm going Jadon Blue,
Hey,
baby.
and-
34.
And Space Cowboy, we owe you some CanFan merch, but we'll deal with that after this.
for sure.
But hey, where can people find you online?
You could follow me at the little handle right down there at Space Cowboy MED on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. I have a TikTok. I haven't uploaded there in a while because they want to shut it down, but then they don't. Or they do want to shut it down. I don't really give a shit anymore. You can also follow me. You can follow me on YouTube, same handle, or Space Cowboy Media there. Fellas, it's always a pleasure talking to y'all about Cowboys football. We got to do it again, once again, at some point.
Absolutely, man.
Nice
It's
to
always
have you.
fun.
Nice to have you on here when it's not a draft night.
Yeah, wasn't
Ex-
draft
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
you've been our perennial draft guy. And if you're out there and you're not following Space Cowboy MED, I'm gonna look you in the face and I'm gonna tell you to go fuck yourself.